That's great ball. They're going to think I was you and you were me.
Especially when I take my next pick.
Oh, no. Oh,
this is going to be very confusing.
I'm going to lose because people vote against Hank. On today's part of my take, we've got a twofer for the people. We've got an awesome interview with Jayson Werth in person. MLB legend, won a championship with the Philadelphia Phillies. Kind of won a championship with the Nats.
Basically,
No,
won
he
a
didn't.
championship. No, he basically did.
Yeah, kind of did.
Which team retired? Had a ceremony for him to put him in the Ring of Honor.
What did you say?
Which team put him in the Ring of Honor?
Well, your franchise is like 5 years old.
No, I just think I think that's interesting. Also, it's the Montreal Expos, which goes back a very long time, but that's fine.
So we have a great interview with Jayson Werth. We have a great interview with Xander Schauffele, Open champion, now good friend of the show. We might be on his coaching staff. We're going to do the Mount Rushmore of round things, and then we're going to finish off with Fyre Fest of the week, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. July's ending with a bang. UFC 304 with not just one, but 2 titles on the line. Get your own crown. Jump in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a fighter to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select a fighter, and place your first bet. It's that simple. The welterweight and interim heavyweight title round out the main card, but it's a stacked card of fights. And speaking of stacked, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, July 26th.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me, Big Cat? And to Max? And to Hank, who's not here?
What?
Happy Uncle's Day?
Happy Uncle's Day.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
happy
it.
Uncle's Day.
Thank you.
I also am an uncle.
Happy Uncle's Day,
Thank
Big
you.
Cat.
So I should say to myself.
Happy Uncle's Day, yep.
Huey, are you an uncle?
Nope.
Okay, so you're out. Memes, are you an uncle?
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, happy Uncle's Day, Memes.
Happy
Thank
Uncle's
you. Happy
Day.
Uncle's Day.
Hank is not here. We are actually on vacation next week, but we still have all the shows. So next week's schedule, Sunday, PFT and I will be in studio. Max and Hank will be on a much-deserved vacation. Wednesday will be the Takeys, which are phenomenal.
I'm fired up.
28 Takeys, I think we're giving out. And then Friday we will have a very, very special guest, and we'll be doing a Zoom show, and then we're off to Grit Week.
I'm very excited about what this next week and a half has in store.
Yes.
Now we are on vacation next week, but to Hank's defense, it's Wednesday of the week before vacation.
Yeah, he left Wednesday.
Yeah.
But that's fine. He did do the Mount Rushmore with us, so we taped 3 Mount Rushmores that so we'll all be participating. But yeah, Hank, when we were like, hey, we're going to take a vacation last week of July, he's like, great, I'll go the second to last week.
And the last week.
Yeah, exactly.
He deserves it. He's had a tough summer.
Which, speaking of, it's such a shame Hank's not here because, boys, I think listen, we've been doing this a long time. A lot of the things that we talk about here are from other shows, or we're not claiming, Mount Rushmore. We love doing Mount Rushmore season. Obviously, it was a joke when we're like, yeah, we invented Mount Rushmore season. We did not invent Mount Rushmore season. There's a lot of things out there that we are part of, but we don't take credit for inventing stuff because everyone's got ideas. Everyone's doing different things. I do think we had a part in Jayson Tatum aura conversation becoming mainstream.
Yes, the Jayson Tatum conversation has reached its apex. Stephen A. Smith put out a podcast yesterday, and he titled it, you're doing the rundown of what the podcast is going to be featuring.
Yep.
Here's how he described his podcast. Another horrifying police shooting. Does Tatum lack aura?
Ooh.
So we're going to get to the bottom of maybe both those things at the same time.
Yeah, and so Carmelo Anthony also came out and said that Jayson Tatum will never be the face of the league because he lacks aura. Anthony Edwards has aura. I'm actually good on it. I don't think I'm good on the discussion. I'm like we settled it a long time ago. It just was interesting that it's now become like an actual thing that people, the fodder in the middle of July.
That's what you got. It is Mount Rushmore season, which we invented, as Big Cat said
Correct.
earlier. But this is an interesting conversation because it's like it's undefinable.
Yeah,
You can just say like whether or not you like the guy or not.
correct. And we also began this whole conversation 100% just to piss Hank off.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know what aura means.
everything we've said about Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown to a certain extent has been just to piss Hank off.
Yeah, if Hank wasn't here, we'd be like, those guys are fucking awesome. They're probably going to win multiple championships, and who the hell cares who like gets the MVP and who has the aura? All that matters is winning. But Hank is usually sitting here, so we have to say they probably hate each other, and Jayson Tatum has no aura.
But also to your point, they in those two questions, Jaylen Brown has both those things.
Yeah, he does have a lot of aura.
And the
He's
MVP.
got aura. He actually has overflow of aura.
Plus 1,000 aura.
Yeah.
What would you say if you were to do like statistics on Jayson Tatum's aura? I'd say he's like negative 650.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go like -9 war.
Yeah, Wara.
Yeah, Wara. Jaylen Brown's like a +28 Wara.
Yeah, that's the guy. It's hard to replicate.
Yeah. All right, so the other things we have going on, it is training camp, so we are starting to get some of the training camp news. We had Jim Harbaugh welcome everyone to training camp in their new facility, the Bolt, which looks incredible.
Inspired by lightning.
Yep, it looks awesome. He said training camp feels like being born. It feels like coming out of a womb. It's comfortable, and then poof, you're born, the lights are on, people are looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, being born is a lot like training camp for sure. You put your head down, you hit the hole. You just need 10 centimeters of daylight, and then you explode. And Harbaugh, I feel like he hears the word labor, and he thinks hard work.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, that's what training camp is. It's work. It's giving birth.
I wouldn't be shocked if Harbaugh maybe also gives his players some, breast milk.
Oh yeah,
Just being like, hey, we got to build stronger bones.
what's like the pre-cum of breast milk, the liquid gold stuff,
I don't know.
the stuff that bodybuilders take.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like a special type of highly concentrated breast milk. I'm sure that Harbaugh's got the boys
placenta.
shooting that up. Yeah, 3 yards in a cloud of placenta. That's his offensive.
Yeah,
shit.
I always get placenta and paella confused, and they're very different.
Extremely, especially the taste.
Placenta is delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had also in Cardinals camp, did you see this? Jonathan Gannon. No, we joke about Jonathan Gannon, but this one had me thinking like he might be in trouble because, and he was kind of being funny, but he said that he and several staff members did a deep dive on the concept of momentum, apparently going back to wars in the 1800s.
Okay.
And after all the research, when he was asked about it, if momentum exists, he said, perhaps I have no idea.
That's great. That's great. So he did an exhaustive research study on it.
Wars.
And it's undefined.
Anytime a football coach comes back from summer for training camp, been like, I've been looking at some wars.
Except for the Browns offensive line coach being like, the troops didn't stretch before
Yes.
they invaded the beach at Normandy.
Yeah, Bob Wiley.
It's interesting though that he is like trying to figure out whether or not momentum is real by doing a scientific study on momentum.
Just ask a sports fan.
Just it might as well just be vibes.
Yeah.
Like vibes are real.
Ask a gambler.
Vibes
They're
are-
sitting there and watching a game and they feel it going bad. That's momentum.
Like I can tell you when a team that's winning is going to lose the game.
Yeah. It's like when they
It's usually when they have a black bird that's on the side of their head and they play in Georgia.
Yeah, it's like 10 years ago, 15 years ago when there was that whole discussion like clutch actually doesn't exist, and like nah, we've been watching sports a long time. Clutch 100% exists.
It definitely exists.
Like there's no way to explain how some people are just better and like rise to the occasion and other people don't.
Isn't momentum also clearly defined by Isaac Newton?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's one of the laws.
he's the one who said momentum is your next day's starting pitcher.
Yeah, he said first he said, "What the fuck is this apple doing falling on my head?" And
Ow.
yeah, and then he said, "Yeah, I don't know if I can pinch hit for Derek Jeter."
Yeah. So momentum's real.
It's definitely real. And it also in sports, like vibes are 100% a thing. In war, I think they call it, what do they call it? Just when your team's down, it's a French term, the esprit de corps or something like that.
Okay.
If your army's pissed off and they're lazy and they don't want to go fight, they're going to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
So if you're getting your ass kicked, then that means you're more likely to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly. Other training camp notes I wrote down for you. Dan Campbell has the biggest podium ever.
Yeah.
I love that they built that for him. They basically built a podium so big that he can't break it with his hands, because I think they were probably nervous that if he gets upset and he pounds his fist, he'll break the podium.
It's a solid podium.
It's an indestructible podium.
It's
the unsinkable podium. It's Titanic.
I like it with Dan Campbell. I would love it if it was like Mike McDaniel behind that giant podium.
Yeah.
It would just be so funny because of how big it would be, how small he would be.
He'd get lost.
I think that might be podium of the year for next year.
Yeah, it is. We should have put that into the takeys, but it came too late. Lincoln Riley said he's coming quickly. They're coming quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It
Think
was
about baseball.
weird seeing like all USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington, the Big Ten media day. We got a lot of media days going on.
What was the context behind "we're coming quickly"?
I think it was talking about are they gonna orgasm?
Okay, yeah, that's unusual for someone who represents the Trojans to say that.
Yeah,
Usually that
usually
delays
takes a
you.
while. Yeah, but maybe ribbed for his pleasure.
His pleasure on the inside.
Yeah, but and then I think that was all the training camp. Oh, we had our first training camp fight, Chiefs.
No.
Oh, was it
incorrect.
Titans?
First training camp fight was the Houston Texans.
Oh,
Which I think we said on the show, the AFC South was going to be the first
they always
division to
do.
fight. And the Chiefs had one too?
Chiefs had one as well.
Interesting. I saw the Jerry Jones talk today.
What did he say?
He addressed the media.
AI Jerry Jones or
No,
real Jerry Jones?
real Jerry Jones, not dead Jerry Jones.
Okay.
He said he was talking about the Dak extension and the CeeDee Lamb extensions that he's working on, and then he compared himself to Patrick Mahomes. He said if you have an option quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, famous option quarterback that we all know,
Yep.
you want to wait to make your decision until the defense gets up on you, and then you can make your choice.
Huh.
And he also said he's more all in than he's ever been.
Oh.
So he's like way.
He's been very all in.
He is balls deep in.
He's been all in every single year for the last 20 years and nothing to show for it.
Well, he's been distracted recently, shall we say, with his paternity lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. What ended up happening? Is he the father?
I don't think either he's the dad and doesn't have to pay for it, or he's not the dad.
Got it.
So he's saying because he doesn't have those distractions, he's going to be able to commit 100% of his time to the team,
To being all in.
which is apparently a good thing in his mind.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want him all in.
No, you want just the tip.
Yep. How mad would you be if the Cowboys got actually good, Max? Would that because it's kind of a fascinating thing to think about, because the Cowboys have not been a threat, an actual threat, in a long time. I know that they have had good seasons. They've won a couple playoff games, but they have not been to an NFC Championship game since the 90s, correct?
1996.
Right.
I don't know about. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when they won their last Super Bowl.
Yeah. So would it destroy you?
I don't know. I got one more year. No NFC East team ever goes back to back, so I'm good for this year.
You need this. You need this year.
Right, PFD?
Yeah.
No one.
We just trade off.
Yeah, everyone trades.
Since 2006,
It's crazy.
I think. Haven't had a back-to-back champion.
So the Cowboys can't win the NFC East this year.
They can't. Take them
they
off
can't.
your list.
Yeah,
Take them off the
your
list. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
And the Commanders are going to rise up, and we're going to dominate them. It's going to be great, and nothing's ever going to hurt again.
Yeah. Baseball news. So what was the clip that you just showed? The Colorado Rockies since 2004 is the last time the NFC East had back-to-back champions. This was a very funny clip because it was the Red Sox Rockies, and the relief pitcher yelled at the batter,
Yeah.
"You jerked off in a parking lot."
Who was the batter?
I don't know, but I looked up and he did in fact jerk off in a parking lot.
Was it Kellen Winslow?
It's one of those ones that you just hope never becomes a viral clip, because I didn't know who that guy was, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, he did jerk off in a parking lot. That's got to suck going to the ballpark every day being like, someone might say I jerked off in a parking lot and they wouldn't be wrong.
And it probably didn't happen that much until this pitcher said it, and it was clearly caught on camera. By the way, shout
Reese
out
McGuire.
Shout out to whoever did the lip reading for it.
Yes.
Because you did America a wonderful service. Now every fan is going to know that's the guy that jerked off in a parking lot.
I did not know until that moment. Is it Reese McGuire?
Yes.
Yeah, Reese McGuire. He jerked off in a parking lot.
Confirmed. by this
And
pitcher.
I think it was who was the pitcher who yelled it? It was Quintrell.
Cal Quantrill.
There we go, Huey.
I love how you said that.
Yeah, I do too. I also, Reese McGuire. He jerked off in the parking lot.
That's interesting.
The other baseball thing I want to talk about real quick, and this is we don't have Memes is a Mets fan, but the Yankees. I saw our good friend Tommy Smokes this morning, and I've known Tommy now for 7 years, and I think for every single moment of those 7 years, I've seen him tweet, "This is the game that Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone are getting fired."
Mm-hmm.
Yet the Yankees will never fire either of those guys. And Aaron Boone even said after getting killed by the Mets, I think they got swept by the Mets this season, he said, one of the things I really liked tonight was how hooked up we were in the dugout in the 8th and 9th inning. I'm not worried about the compete level with these guys. This is talking about a game where they lost like 12-3, I believe. So I don't know what it is with the Yankees, but these guys stink, and I'm talking about Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman, and they're never getting rid of them.
As a 2-week Yankee fan, I think.
What was the 2-week Yankee fan thing, by the way? Explain that.
I was sold on the high class and the history.
The pinstripes?
The pinstripe, the Derek Jeters of the world.
When was the 2 weeks?
The first 2 weeks of the season.
Okay.
So they were hot coming out the gate. They looked good. And then I stopped caring. And then they started kind of took a couple slumps and bumps. But at the end of the day, I think Cashman and Boone, they're going to always be on the hot seat. And at the end of the day, the team's, it's not even that horrible.
We have a 2-week Yankee fan.
I generally think
But
they're going to be all right.
You said once you stop caring about them, then they went to a slump. You have to start caring about them again.
This is what I have to do for that team to be great. I'll walk for them to run.
I like how Brian Cashman, they got off to a hot start, you're right, but his strategy is basically sign the best players and pay them the most money.
Yeah.
Which isn't really the mark of a good general manager, just a general manager that's got a rich dad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So Huey, you are a football and a basketball guy. You're not really a baseball guy. Just this season, you were like, I'm going to give this Yankee thing a shot?
Yeah, like I was watching the playoffs last year, and I got kind of sold on like baseball, and then
you were not sold on baseball until last year.
Yeah, it took last season to kind of be like,
right.
This thing, 'cause it moved faster.
Okay.
What about the Yankees in the postseason sold you on the Yankees?
Not last, but it was the potential
Okay.
of like, look at what this team is in the regular season. Imagine if they're good, and it matters when they're playing.
How much baseball had you watched the previous 25 years of your life?
4 months, maybe.
4 months?
Like a game here, a game there.
Wait,
It's very specific.
Wait, 4 months,
like
cumulative 4 months?
Yeah, like if I had to.
That's a lot of games.
But that's not like 24/7. That's just like a day here, day there. A game here, a game there.
Okay. And then 2-week Yankee fan.
And then 2 weeks, I was watching every game for 2 weeks.
And you just stopped?
No, I did. I watched every single game.
And then you just stopped?
And then I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Okay. 2-week Yankee fan.
Yeah, the Yankees, I know that their fans are really, really pissed off, but I think that there's a solution to this. I think that you have to give Aaron Boone an extension and show that you believe in him.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the clubhouse is going to truly believe in him too. Then you'll be fine.
You might have a lame duck otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of is a lame duck, right? I think he's got like he's got a club option for next year.
So you got to do it.
So you got to do it. Extend Aaron Boone.
I got a question for you. The Olympics started. How are we doing in rugby?
So right now we're waiting for the quarterfinals. We made it to the knockout stage, and the U.S. is playing Australia. We won.
Is Australia good?
Yeah, they're very good.
Shit.
They're probably going to win. We won a game, lost a game, tied a game.
Oh, that's perfect for us.
Yeah, and we finished, I believe, second in our group, which means that we kind of won. So we moved on to the knockout stage. I don't know. I don't want to make any predictions because we're watching the games right now. But I like both Fiji and Ireland. Whoever wins this game, I think, is going to win it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been awesome to watch. Like the whole office has been watching sevens, and I wish that it had more of a primetime spot. I wish that it wasn't.
I wish it was happening during the Olympics.
I wish it wasn't the appetizer for the Olympics.
Right.
Like this deserves get this in like a Friday night, Saturday night.
Right. I don't understand. Oh, by the way, the Nationals got no hit today.
Yeah, we did. And you know what? Thing about me, guy like me, when we get no hit, I say that we got no hit.
Yeah.
We got no hit by Cease.
One guy threw it.
Yeah, but they got no hits.
We got no hit.
Remember when
What
you
happened in yours? What happened in yours? Did you get any hits? Okay.
Exactly.
Down boy.
That's
That's basically, we just took out the newspaper and we just kind of held it over the dog's snout, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to lay down.
that's what we call accountability, Max. That's as close as you'll get to Max admitting it, by the way. It's just
He's just slinking back.
Yeah, he's shrunk.
Like, we've had this argument for 2 years now, and he just didn't see the, well, how did you guys get a hit question coming? Never saw that part coming.
It was Dylan Cease.
Yeah, Dylan Cease.
Fantastic.
Baseball. I was basically like, All-Star break's a nice reset. The Cubs have been bad, and I was like, I'm gonna give my all for this next week to see if the Cubs can maybe win a few games and we can get back in this. I went on Monday night. They're so bad. Their foul balls are bad. They don't even hit foul balls well.
Like not good contact? Is that what you
Correct. They suck at hitting the baseball.
So when they
Very important part of baseball.
That's probably the most important part.
Yeah. Well, no, they're really good at pitching the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They're just really bad at hitting the baseball. Hitting the baseball is important, especially when you pitch the baseball well. All you need to do is hit the baseball a little bit, and they can't even do that.
Ideally, you'd like to combine the two.
Yeah.
It's also
But
so boring.
it's
like,
boring. That's the
watching the
thing.
Cubs play is so boring.
They don't have anything. I've said it a million times. When we talked about with Aaron Rodgers, what?
The Cubs are the Bears.
No.
They've grown up into the
No,
Bears.
they won in 2016.
No, I'm saying like their style of play.
Oh, right now, yeah, they're
Yeah.
solid play, but they have not historically. I mean, yeah, they're not good historically, but they did win in the last decade. When we were talking with Aaron Rodgers about how often guys think about the Roman Empire,
Mm-hmm.
and how that whole meme started, and everyone's like, ask your boyfriend how often he thinks about the Roman Empire. For me, it's how often I think about Kyle Schwarber still being on the Cubs.
Yeah.
That's an almost daily occurrence for me in my brain.
He's such a joy to root for. If you're going to have a team that, even if it's not that good, having Schwarber on the team is just so much fun.
Just
having a big boy that steps up to the plate and mashes.
One bat that would make the other pitcher not be like, oh, I'm fine, this is an easy out.
I'd be so sick to root for him.
Shut up.
He also wouldn't tolerate other guys not hitting the ball well.
Right.
He'd just be like, dude, just do what I do.
Just mash.
Just spank a ball.
He'd be pissed off. The Cubs, in the last 6 games, 2 runs, 0 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs, 0 runs, 2 runs.
That's bad.
That's really
That's
bad.
Boring baseball.
And they don't give up runs, so it's like every loss is a 3-2 loss or a 2-1 loss. It's brutal.
It's kind of the same in every sport where if your team's going to be bad or mediocre, you'd rather it be the opposite, where they're great on offense and
Correct.
defense stinks.
Play softball games.
Yeah, just because you can have fun watching the game.
Correct.
There's a lot going on.
Correct.
I saw a stat the other day. This is back to football real quick. I think the Dan Lebitard show pointed this out, but I wanted to make memes aware of it. Memes, do you know that the Indianapolis Colts have more AFC titles than the New York Jets do?
Wow.
Yeah, that was
AFC
going around this season.
Yeah, AFC.
Memes, I stand with you. Don't let them do shame statistics.
No,
Statistics are the lamest thing you can do.
I thought you guys saw it earlier in the year and we're
No.
going to bring it up, but
I would never bring that up. Memes, I fucking live. All I have to deal with every single day is insult stats.
yeah, we got to stick together.
Yeah, insult stats are not cool.
We just got to turn the insult stats on the Patriots now.
See something, say something. If you see someone using an insult stat, insult them back.
I kind of like using them on the Patriots, though. You can use them on the Chiefs, Patriots, any team that's won more than 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
I'd
well,
say.
because then they have something to defend.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the insults. We're about to get to the time of year where the Bears not having a 3,000-yard passer or what 4,000? I can't remember.
4,000.
4,000, 30. It's 30 touchdowns, 4,000. That's going to start going everywhere.
Yeah.
And so insult stats suck.
Yeah, they're back.
They're not nice. All right, before we do Mount Rushmore, and Hank is involved in this, I wanted to do one thing. PFT, I told you this. I was going to save this for you. I got talking to Huey the other day, and our boy Huey's working on a script. Okay? And I want you to hear the script because I think we need to make the pilot for this.
Okay.
Okay, so Huey, the floor is yours. How long you been working on this script?
Technically speaking, About 6 months.
Okay, and how many pages do we have?
1.
Okay.
Okay. When you say technically, what does that mean?
I started it 6 months ago,
Okay.
and I did 1 page
Okay.
that day.
Oh, so it all one day.
Yeah, I've gone back and edited. You can kind of edited some lines, added some descriptions and stuff, but that page.
And it's
Some subscriptions.
Descriptions.
Descriptions.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
You're a perfectionist, it sounds like.
Yeah, I want it to be realistic. Want it to be, make you be able to, believe that you're in the story.
Okay,
So what was the inspiration for the script?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Tell them what the pitch is.
All right, so the show's called High Up in the Mountains. It's about 2 brothers. One looks very similar to me. The other, the inspiration behind the other one is by a rapper by the name of Shakewell, who looks very similar to Max Delente.
Oh.
So
Shake well, like a milkshake? Like something that you'd see on
yeah,
like a Slim Fast?
yeah. He's a big goofy guy.
Got it.
So it's about 2 brothers, one named Carmelo, the other Anthony, and they were born 2 days before he got traded to the Knicks.
Okay.
And so, that's why their dad, not the best of guys, grew up to resent them, because
They live in Denver.
Mushed
yeah,
them,
They live in Denver. Now he's got to be reminded of, his 2 shit-stained kids, Carmelo and Anthony.
Yeah.
And then, long story short, life goes on. Dad starts to meet another woman. They have a kid. That kid, guess what he names that kid?
Tebow.
Nicola.
Oh.
And so now there's not enough room for Carmelo and Anthony, so they're getting kicked out. So now the story is these 2 shit brains kind of having to figure out life on their own high up in the mountains, named Carmelo and Anthony.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
It's-
100% in.
We got to make it. I did point out when I heard this that the years between Carmelo Anthony getting traded from the Nuggets to the Knicks and Jokic getting drafted by the Nuggets is significant.
So the timeline doesn't add up.
So no, well, it's just that's more room for the script.
Well, Jokic was drafted in 2014, and then you got to think, you add another 6-7 years before he starts to really start to be in the final conversation and MVP, and it takes a couple 6 years. So by then, they're pushing 18.
Okay.
So it's right on that par right there.
So and then the Carmelo and Anthony resent their baby brother.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
fucking Nicola.
So
Yeah.
do they move to New York?
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's 1 page.
I'm open to anything.
This is actually a lot of script for just 1 page.
Wait, what do you mean you haven't gotten that far yet? Because they already in where you've gotten to, Carmelo's already retired.
Yeah, no, I mean in theory. Yeah, I haven't written all of this.
Right. You've only written 1 page.
The theory, the direction is this.
Right.
This is where we're going. The end of the episode is by the end of the episode, we're gonna have all this laid out, and we're gonna have kind of the path of.
Is this all happening in the first episode?
Not all of it, but we're again, the pilot's gonna really have to lay down a lot of what these guys are, their story, and then them getting kicked out, and then that kind of where that ends, and then we'll pick up episode 2, kind of.
So it's a
After the
TV
fact.
show. So you have like
Yeah.
a season.
Yeah, it could, many episodes as it needs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a time jump in the first episode?
Yeah, I thought
like there has
that's
to.
Well, no. There's the first little 30 seconds is them as babies, and then it's Carmelo and Anthony, and then bang, 2 days later, Carmelo gets traded, and then it's like, all right, and then it just quick time jump. He cuts to these kids, smoking weed in the car.
Oh, so
And
there
now
is a
it's-
time jump.
Yeah, but for 20 seconds. It's the first
Got it.
20. You just get introduced to babies.
Oh, we're
Their
in
name's Carmelo.
present day.
and then boom, yeah. Now we're in present day. Yeah, these kids
Okay,
are present
got
day. Yes. All right.
I got a question. I don't want to completely poo-poo your script here because I think that
That's all right.
maybe we should make it. When Carmelo was traded to the New York Knicks, did the father think about just changing their name?
No. He signed the birth certificate a couple days earlier. So officially, and again, the dad, what we're going to find out from father is he's not the brightest. Okay.
Okay.
And that he's at the end of the day, it's more about the reminder of what he did wrong, and he kind of blames himself.
Okay, so when he named the new baby Nicola, did he do that right when Jokic got drafted?
He did that kind of late 2019.
Got it.
As he
kinda-
started to emerge.
As it was like, this is the
He
guy.
wasn't going to make the same mistake again.
Yeah,
where
he wanted
named
to commit,
someone,
make sure he was committed full time.
Yeah.
And this was going to be the guy.
So we're gonna have to find like a 4-year-old actor for Nicola.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay, just wanted to make sure that that's the path that
Yeah.
we're going.
Yep.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old for Nicola. Hot mom. Shithead dad.
Yep.
And then 2 guys that look like you and me.
It's gonna be a hard one.
We gotta figure out how we're gonna find 2 guys that look just like me and Huey.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay.
difficult.
Yeah, so I think we need to make this pilot.
Every sitcom needs just a wacky neighbor too.
Okay.
Put
yeah.
the wacky neighbor in there.
Yeah, we could do. There's a lot of wacky people in this office.
Yeah.
Like I got some
Bosco
inspiration.
plays wacky.
Yeah,
neighbor.
wacky neighbor is named JR?
JR's not a
JR
bad name.
Smith?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Birdman.
Birdman?
Birdman would be a
Oh,
good.
Birdman would be
one.
good.
Yeah.
JaVale.
I was just thinking, like, what would an enemy be to like a nugget?
Kobe?
Sauce.
Kobe.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I could. Kobe could live next door.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't be in Colorado. Okay, we'll figure it out.
All right. We'll work
Yeah,
on it.
so I wanted you to hear that. It's a.
I'm
We will
in.
make a pilot. We will make a sizzle reel. I don't know if we have enough for more than like 45 seconds. It might just be 45 seconds of time jumps.
Maybe a short film. Make the entire show out of the montage.
Let's just time jump the entire show.
Like how so? Like just
Like every minute, it's like, we don't know where we are in time.
okay.
And also it should have a lot of NBA highlights in it.
Yes.
Like of Carmelo Anthony and then of Nikola Jokic. It
Yeah.
should actually be mostly highlights.
Should it be like each year of their life? Like
Yeah.
each time jump. So then it's just like another year of like Carmelo, doing something great in New York, and their dad turning to them, these fucking kids, And then next year it's like, oh, Carmelo Anthony, 2013 Knicks, we got something.
Yeah.
And he's just reminded of his kids.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that.
And they could have like a little robot sidekick named AI. And it's got braids like Allen Iverson.
Yeah. I like this.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want to watch a sitcom about like the mid 2010s Nuggets?
Denver, Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great time and place.
Can you tell me how you came up with this idea? Because you're not a Nuggets fan.
No, so my theory is a lot of
Okay. Your theory of how you came up with this idea.
yeah, it all comes together. I think that like the best shows ever are like like Simpsons, Family Guy, Office, Friends, normal people, normal environments, normal places. So two kind of shit-stained kids.
Simpsons and Family Guy are cartoons.
Yeah, but they're family relevant.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a talking dog in Family Guy,
We're not looking at the specifics.
and a talking baby. Family Guy is bad example.
The specifics aren't what matters. It's about the fact it's
Regular
family.
people that we can all relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Family.
relate
And
to
so
these.
maybe you're not a stoner, but you've seen these two, you've seen those types of kids around. And now instead of it being like a sad existence,
So confused.
right?
What types of kids?
Stoners. You've seen-
Carmelo and Anthony. I was
Oh,
still,
yeah, I
I was
forgot.
still looking at the Family Guy.
Yeah, me
No,
too.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm moving on. Yeah, but and those type, but the backstory of that's usually kind of sadder, and it's like a little bit
Yeah.
more like But this is kind of funny, it's just Carmelo and it's Anthony. The resentment doesn't come from like a fucking divorce or something. It
Right.
comes from
You're
just-
naming your kids Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, and then you're dumb enough to not like try to change it. You
Yeah.
know? It's just it's the look.
I don't think this answered the question.
It's really a story about life. Yeah, I don't know how. I was trying to figure out how you decided that the Denver Nuggets would be like the perfect.
I just needed a name that had two first names.
Got it.
okay, that's the
I
answer.
knew that was going to
And
be
then-
it.
That's it.
and I can put
That would all
everything else
make
around
sense.
it. Yeah, and weed legal in Colorado.
Oh.
So 2 for 2, and I went with it.
Got it. So you kind of started with just anyone who's got two first names, and we'll just figure out the
We'll
rest.
figure out the story.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I'm in.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
think-
knew you would be.
I think this sounds lucrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, do you understand the new NBA deal? It's on every channel now.
So they extended with ESPN Disney, right?
Yeah, and then
and now they're-
Peacock and NBC.
This is what the leagues
And
are doing.
Amazon. I heard that Amazon's getting. This might be rumor. Amazon's going to get one of the conference finals every 2 years on Amazon Prime.
This is what the leagues are doing. They're just they're chopping it up and they're cutting it and they're selling a bunch of NBA to us that we have to buy individually.
Yeah.
So I want to know if you were to be able to watch every NBA game and every NFL game, how much per year does that cost you to be a sports fan?
Right.
I feel like that's the real inflation in the United States right now.
It's becoming expensive to be a sports fan.
They're pricing a lot of people out of watching sports,
Yeah.
and that shouldn't be right.
Yeah.
And we should do something about it. and we won't.
We won't.
But
We'll just pay for all the stuff they make us pay for.
But I'd like the record to show that I'm upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like the record to show that I'm mad.
Same.
Mad. We're mad.
I'm mad as hell, and I'm going to keep taking it.
Yep. Not going to do a thing.
Yep.
Not going to do a goddamn thing. Okay, let's get to our Mount Rushmore. Let's do our Mount Rushmore. Then we have Jayson Werth and Xander Schauffele. Mount Rushmore is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to the Cubs-Cardinals next week for just $35? That's right, with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. They have flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible, and their lowest price guarantee means that if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats with up to 60% off your events, favorite events. What are you waiting for? We're going to go to those Cubs games next week. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed with the Game Time app. Okay, let's get to our Mount Rushmore of round things. Okay, time for Mount Rushmore. It is time for the Mount Rushmore of round things. Mount Rushmore of round things. Hank, you kind of groaned when we came up with this idea. Are you Are you not into round things?
That just didn't happen.
That was cap.
Yeah.
Do you like this Mount Rushmore? I'd
do.
like to hear you say
like
you
this?
like it.
You like
Yeah.
it? You like it?
I like the open-ended one.
Okay, I love it. All right.
Round things are actually enclosed, but
They're very much enclosed, so this might be a struggle for you. All right, so I have first pick. There's so many good picks.
there's a lot of good round things.
There's so many good round things. I'm going to try to keep it just basic, simple, run the ball, Mount Rushmore round things. A pizza.
That's a good pick.
Pizza.
That was my 1-1.
It's a beautiful round thing. You
Yeah.
see your big full pizza. There's just nothing better.
Yeah, good choice.
That was my 1-1 as well. I thought I would get it for sure.
Feel good.
Because I assumed you were going to take donuts.
Yeah, that was also on there, but I was like, pizza is just, listen, I love donuts. But if it's pizza or donuts for the rest of your life, you'd have to take pizza.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I love donuts, but you can't eat donuts every single day. You could eat pizza almost every day. Burrito, actually, you could eat more.
I don't know if you'd be able to eat a pizza every day. That would get old real fast.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
pizza,
what if you took one bite?
No, old. People
You
get
wouldn't-
sick of that.
you would never eat. Pizzas are round. I'm not objecting.
It sounds like you're objecting.
But you don't eat like a donut. You eat as a circle. You don't eat a pizza as a circle.
What about
You eat from the inside of the circle out.
what about
You
the
eat slices.
What about the long ones, the long skinny ones? What about
What about in Ninja Turtles, the video game, when you just run over pie and just
Are those
jump into your mouth?
Those aren't. Those are. Those, I feel like those have a different type of.
no, like the
Different
long john? What are they
qualification.
called? I think the long johns. No, that's
Pizza is round. Final.
pizza's round.
I know.
What
But
about a bear claw? What about a fritter?
those are different names.
Yeah, that's true. You got me there.
They're at a donut store.
They are at a donut store.
Something to think about.
Okay.
Donuts are more pure round.
Wow. So we're gonna do pure roundness. I mean, okay.
Yeah, we're
Just a
doing
thought.
skull measurements now,
Okay.
Hank.
Okay. All right. Let's hope you don't pick anything that's not fully round.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Okay. Max.
I'll be taking boobs.
Oh, you dick.
Good one.
I thought that was an easy 1-1.
Hank, would
Yeah.
you like to say anything about boobs not being fully round?
They're not.
And Hank has spoken.
Right?
Yeah, no,
but
they
they
are.
are.
They are.
They're
but they are.
curved.
Yeah,
they're round. It's a round piece of meat.
Is it
Yeah.
curved or yeah? All right. Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
pick.
great pick.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with pie. Pie is round. Do you want to object to that, Hank?
No, I like that pick.
Okay. All right. Love pie. I'm more of a pie guy than I'm a cake guy.
Yeah.
I think
Pie clears cake all day.
birthday cake pretty decent. Pie vastly superior.
Yeah. You don't think pie clears cake?
I think I've had more cake than pie in my life.
That's not the question, sir.
So yeah, I would say that.
No,
in
that's
my
because
personal.
No, it's
one
just-
is served more, Doesn't mean it's better.
You get force-fed cake at birthdays. I would prefer birthday pies.
Ice cream is better than cake. Why don't they just do ice cream at every birthday? It's
They
just 'cause
do.
You just do.
They do both.
No, they do.
No.
They do cake way more than ice cream at a birthday.
But you've had more ice cream than cake because it's better.
I've definitely had way more ice cream than cake.
Yeah, easily. I probably have had a lot of pie.
But that's because I select the ice cream myself. I go out of my way to purchase ice cream. I don't get ice cream foisted upon me like people do with cake sometimes.
Correct.
I don't want to talk shit about cake because I do enjoy cake, but pie is way better. Okay, pie, number 1. And then back to me, the wheel.
Good pick.
The wheel.
Had it on there.
Maybe the best invention of all time.
Had it on there.
That and Red Zone.
Had it on there. Damn.
You complain about that, Hank?
Nope.
Okay,
Nice.
good.
Nice.
I'm gonna take a basketball.
Yep.
Okay, good pick.
Shit. Man, I'm getting foisted.
I'm going to take Earth.
Yeah.
Ah,
Good choice.
Good pick.
Is this terrible Mount Rushmore?
Might be. Might be.
The Earth's not round, Hank.
Yeah, might
Ask your
be.
boy Kyrie.
It's way more round than boobs. And I. will-
Oh,
You just went out of order.
You're right.
Wait,
what were you gonna say?
he didn't go out of order.
He was
No,
about
he's
to.
fine. You're good. You're good. Go. What's your pick? Your other one.
Sure, you have 2.
No. I shouldn't have stopped you. Fuck.
What's the punishment if you go out? There should be a.
No, you can just take the other person can take it.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of good ones, but I don't really know. Am I just gonna go all food?
I mean, some of the best round things are food. For
It is
sure.
there's a lot of food out there. Okay. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a cookie. Beautiful round thing. Love a chocolate chip cookie. And then I will go. People are gonna be confused because they're gonna think that our Mount Rushmores are not the blind Mount Rushmores. I'm gonna go with the golf ball. Great ball.
Okay,
Great
decent ball.
That's a great ball. They're gonna think I was you and you were me.
Especially when I take my next pick.
Oh no!
The sphere.
Oh,
This is gonna be
shit.
very confusing.
I'm gonna lose because people vote against Hank.
Damn, Big Cat, you're really stinking
I'm
this Mount Rushmore
sucking right
season.
now.
And Hank's reaping all the benefits. That's wild.
Shit.
I mean, we never know until the votes get cast.
Kind of a fraudulent pick by you because you've never been. Also, wait, is there sphere of?
Yeah, because we gave the Earth.
Yeah,
And boobs.
but it's also
balls.
not fully round because
You just picked golf ball though.
the floor. Is
that
not.
boobs, the chest, like there's.
Well, you opened this Pandora's box when
I-
you went
we-
at pizza.
We allowed. No, I didn't. I said I'm not objecting.
Boobs are round.
You did. You opened
But
it.
there's a floor to them.
Boobs are round.
They are
They're
round in
the part
shape.
Hank, you can't see the flat part though. The flat part is connected.
That's the same with the sphere.
So the part that you see, yeah. No, I think both play.
Shit. Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm fucked with this one because people are just gonna look at it blind and
Yeah.
just be like
Yep.
donut sphere.
Yep.
No, you may actually be good because some people have been wanting to give Hank
Okay,
pity votes.
maybe I'll get that. Maybe I'll get that.
I'm gonna go with a baseball.
Oh shit, you took mine. Baseball's a good pick.
Okay. Now you got two.
So now I got 2. I'm gonna go with the sun because there would be no Earth without the sun,
Yeah.
and
It's
all of
just
us would be
gas,
dead.
But that's fine.
It's just what?
It's just gas.
Yeah, but gas isn't like the cool way to say. it.
Round gas.
Like that
Round
shit's,
gas.
that shit's gas as fuck.
Round gas.
Yeah,
Okay.
big round gas. And then
I mean, the sun is.
what?
It's gas.
It's burning gas. It's a burning.
There's no
burning
shape to
ball.
the sun.
I'm gonna
It
be
just
honest
looks
with you
round.
guys right now.
The moon is round.
Scientifically speaking, I'm gonna take myself out of this because I don't know what it is.
The sun is round.
I just assumed the sun was fire.
You wait. Are you like extra woke and you think that the sun is flat?
Is the sun lava?
It's gas.
It's plasma. It's actually plasma if you look it up.
Okay. I'm in over my head. I never thought I'd be stepping away from a Hank
Yeah.
debate, but I am.
Hank's looking it up.
Hank knows more about the sun than me.
What is the sun?
Is the sun round?
Yes.
The sun is not a perfect sphere.
A perfect what?
You should get that should be illegal now that you got that pick.
Okay, so for my last one, I'm going to go with
Sun doesn't have a solid surface.
shut the fuck up.
I'm just,
Neither does the Earth. Ever heard of water?
We're on a solid surface.
Yeah, partially. Shut the fuck up, Hank. All right, my last one. I'm going to take bagels. Bagels.
Yep,
Love bagels.
add it
Bagel
on there.
sandwiches. Bagels for breakfast.
I was just going too many foods.
Yeah, bagel, baby.
Okay.
Bagel boss.
Me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've taken it my fourth pick like 10 times. I'm gonna go meatball.
Ah, yes. Meatball.
Meatball.
Meatball again. Max just hits the meatball button. Hank? Oh, he's
This is
really,
about to be
he's really
This is
thinking.
about to be a reach.
Bullseye.
Okay. Well,
Bullseye.
be careful. Let's not contribute to the toxic climate.
What
in
the fuck does
politics.
that mean?
Bullseye.
Were you trying to say dartboard? You're just saying bullseye.
Target logo.
Got it.
You're sticking
Yeah,
with
yeah,
bullseye.
Yeah, bullseye. Bullseye.
Yep.
So you're talking about the center of a dartboard.
Yeah, the best.
Bullseye.
That's a great round thing.
Okay.
You get a bullseye. Yeah, it's a bad pick. Whatever.
Okay.
It's Big Cat's pick.
Man, I don't know what to do here. I got so many food options, and then I got one. What, Hubie? Should I go crazy or a little bit outside or stick with the food?
You need to risk it for the biscuit now.
Okay.
You want to go biscuit? Is that what you're saying?
Biscuit's a great pick.
Yeah. All right. Super Bowl ring. How is that not round?
Kind
It's
of.
a ring.
The ring part is round.
Right. I mean,
No,
everything
it's
we've
round.
but
It's round. It's round.
But everything else we've said has had parts that the sphere,
Yeah, but the part that makes it a Super Bowl ring is not round.
but it's a ring. It's round.
It's what's on. It's what's built into
A
the
ring is
So
round.
Listen,
all right, fine.
I'm going to
I'll take it
allow
off.
it. No, I'm going to allow it.
That has to be allowed.
I'm going to allow it, but we're going to debate it.
Okay.
Has to be allowed, Max.
Well, with everything that we've said, we haven't said anything's not allowed. Like a ring is round.
A ring
Right.
is round.
It's a
It's
Super Bowl
a
ring.
Super Bowl ring
But it
is
is
a ring.
round. Yeah, there's stuff on top, but it's round. You put your finger in the
Yeah.
round part. It's a Super Bowl ring.
Memes.
Also, there's a lot of Super Bowl rings that were fully round until recently.
Max,
That's
pull one
true.
up.
Like the old school Super Bowl rings were literally just rings.
Yep.
Like a little diamond on top. Super Bowl ring rocks.
What do we miss?
A lot.
We did miss a lot.
All right, so here were the food options I was thinking about.
Butthole,
No.
Butt cheeks.
butt cheeks,
Butt
butts.
cheeks.
Butts are
Butts.
round. Is a vagina round? Like I'm talking about the actual.
I don't think so.
You know,
The hole?
no, the like, yeah, the
The pee hole?
part that you go in.
Yeah.
Not talking about the labia majora.
I don't know. I've never seen one. Waffles, tortillas, Reese's peanut butter cups,
Pancakes.
pancakes, M&Ms,
Yep.
onion rings. I had Round Here, Counting Crows song. That song rocks.
Okay.
I was just thinking of Round, and I was
Yeah.
it got in my head, and I was just like, oh, I put it on my list.
Lifesavers.
Yep.
The thing and the candy.
Pie charts.
Pie chart. I hate pie charts.
I like pie charts.
No, give me a graph, like the bar graph.
No, see, because then you got to read the X and the Y. I like the pie chart. I just look at it and just like, okay, got it.
What about a tin of dip
Yep.
or Lucy?
Lucy. Manhole cover.
Manhole cover, classic round thing.
Yep. Those are cool to look at.
Gongs,
Gongs.
Yeah, symbols in general.
records,
drums.
CDs.
The Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Fuck.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That one's pretty cool. Sushi.
Sushi's round.
Yep. Toilet paper roll.
Yeah, but not a fan.
Oh, you kind of need it.
I got really into the
Burgers?
bidet situation. Burger, yeah.
Burgers.
Burger's a good
There
thing.
you go, Hubie.
Oreos.
Oh, this one's going to be triggering for Max, so maybe take off your headphones. Ping pong balls.
Ping pong balls
Ping
around.
pong balls around.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Tennis balls, I think, are more versatile than a baseball or a golf ball.
Yeah, if I could have taken anything back, I'd probably go the bouncy ball, the classic bouncy ball.
Yeah.
That's my favorite ball.
So if you're left alone with it, if you had the option to be left alone
With the
with a tennis ball, a golf ball, or a baseball,
Yeah, it's tennis ball all day. All day.
yeah. I throw it against the wall, bounce it off the ground.
Throw it up to yourself.
Baseball would be cool because you could work on your grips.
Yeah, a bowl.
A bowl?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bowl. Yeah, I thought you
bowl's
said
a
bowl
guy.
for a second.
a bowl. is round.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was thinking about it. Do you ever? There's nothing really that you have a bad bowl of. You know what I mean? When you're getting a bowl out, you're getting just good. It's like soup, ice cream,
Cereal. Yeah.
cereal,
Good stuff, all good
It's
things.
just great things.
Yeah, I agree.
Popcorn. Like a bowl delivers great things.
It does.
A plate, you could have a bad meal, but a bowl is fucking great.
Basketball ring. Sorry.
Yeah. I did have dartboard on. Hank took bullseye.
What about an aura?
Can I get dartboard?
I feel like
No.
auras are round.
No. The O button, the spin button.
Yeah, spin button's good.
The number 100 is a round number, right?
Yeah.
It's a great number.
Just the letter O.
Yeah, the letter O.
Letter O is good.
Letter O.
Nobody took circle.
Can I get dartboard bullseye?
No.
You said bullseye.
Ferris
But
wheel. Ferris wheel.
Yeah, that's
Very cool.
They scare me.
I like those.
Oh.
What? Oh, Hank, you said bullseye. I even said dartboard. You said bullseye.
Yeah, dartboard bullseye.
No, bullseye.
But I whatever. That's all right.
Well, I'm giving you your pick.
Yeah, you said bullseye, and you said no, just bullseye.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Like you said dartboard, I said bullseye.
You clarified and said just bullseye.
Memes?
You got Kentucky Derby winning racehorse.
Yeah, that's an animal.
It could have just been racehorse.
But I specified.
Bullseye is obviously.
But I specified
dartboard.
as I made the pick, Kentucky Derby winning racehorse. You, on the other hand, said bullseye. Then we asked you numerous follow-up questions about the bullseye.
I don't think I said.
And then you
just-
said just the bullseye.
I don't think I said just the bullseye. I just said bullseye.
I think you did.
Oh, memes.
Because they did give you the option to.
Yeah,
I said dartboard almost immediately.
Yes.
we gave you a lifeboat.
Okay,
Right away.
my bad.
No, it's good, dude. You're doing fine, sweetie.
Thanks.
What about just an eye, a human eye?
Oh. That's it.
Eyes are great.
Yeah. Eyes are great. A tire. I know we have wheel, but tires
Yeah.
are cool.
Blueberries,
Mm-hmm.
nectarines.
Yep. Peaches.
Yeah, a lot of good fruits.
Grapes. What kind of grapes you guys like?
Purple.
Yeah, same.
I like
I like
wine.
the green ones.
I like I like purple, and then if I had to pick second, it's the cotton candy ones.
Cotton candy's
Those
good.
ones are so
Those
good.
ones freak me out.
They're too.
they're
they're too
so
sweet
good.
almost.
They
Yeah,
taste.
but they're so
why
good.
do they taste like cotton candy?
Yeah, they're weird. Cherries. Testicles.
Testicles.
I thought about testicles.
Yeah, but balls is
Mhm.
kind of tough to put up there.
Yeah.
It's not. A racetrack?
Yeah, racetrack. That's round.
Yeah, goes round. Right?
Medicine.
Ferris wheel.
I said Ferris wheel just now.
It's
yeah.
okay. I'm dumb.
No, that's fine. We're moving fast. We also had Hank kind of derail us with the bullseye thing.
My bad.
UFOs. Flying saucers.
A lighthouse if you're from bird's eye view?
Yeah, looking down on it. It
Yeah.
actually kind of looks like a bullseye.
Yeah. How did this happen, Hank? The Barstool Sports logo.
Also round. Yeah. All right.
Okay, that was a good Mount Rushmore. I feel good about it. Everyone feel good?
I feel good. I think
Round things.
Hank felt good until bullseye.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they're going to vote. Like, they're going to think that you're me and me, I'm you. You. What are your picks? Sphere, donut, bullseye. What was the other one? And I have golf ball, pizza.
Earth.
Yeah,
Earth,
you have a
that's
good
pick
that's
because
a
you
good
got
Mount Rushmore.
you got pretty much everything with
Listen,
the Earth.
not
pick.
everyone critiques every Mount Rushmore. Like sometimes you got to take shots. You say things.
Yeah.
If I
exactly.
Fucking cares.
Now, if
Who
I-
cares?
if-
Whole point is to just have fun with the boys.
after
I'm having a
Max's
great time.
after Max's first pick, if I had picked nipples, would that have counted?
No, you can't. That's like
Because nipple,
Pepperonis.
Part of it. Oh, pepperoni's a
Yeah.
great pick. Fuck.
You
I didn't want to
could've
go
taken
so
that.
hard food. Yeah, I think nipples would have not counted just because they are part of the boob. They're the most important
they're
part of the boob.
they're the part of the boob.
Yeah,
They're
you
the
told
part,
me that.
but it's the best part of the boob.
Right. If you don't have a nipple, you have no boob.
Yeah.
Memes wanted me to just take synonyms of boobs. So I was going to go melons, pepperonis.
Oh, you should have. Memes. You horny
Front
dog.
porches.
Okay, good Mount Rushmore, boys.
Good job.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. It is 15-year MLB pro, Jayson Werth, also horse owner. Jayson, thank you for coming in studio.
My
Great
pleasure.
to see you. You got the American Century Championship hat on.
Yeah.
Golfer.
Still flying the hat there.
Yeah. So let's start with actually, I don't know where you want to start. We want to start horse owning. We want to start all your businesses that you got going on.
Wherever you want to start. I'm
Or we
just happy
start
to
with-
be here. I
with-
finally made it.
Actually, I'll start here. Jayson Werth, the connection that we have is we just had David Wells on a couple weeks ago, and Jayson Werth's first MLB hit was against David Wells. How pumped were you for your first MLB hit? Also, how long did it take? Because I always wonder, like guys who take a while, does it really fuck you up?
Yeah, so it's a good story. So I was a catcher all growing up and up until AAA, and then I was with Toronto. They finally were like tired of watching it, so they moved me to the outfield, and I played left in AAA the whole year. Played like 10 games in center, and I get to the September 1st to get called up. We're playing the Yankees in the Sky Dome or Rogers Center, whatever they call it now, and I go in the clubhouse. I look at the lineup, and I'm like, oh shit. 9, batting ninth, Werth, 9. And I'm like, the fuck's 9? I'm like, oh shit, I'm playing right field. I've never even seen a 9 by my name before.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So, you don't ever play in stadiums with 5 decks. You don't ever play in domes, when you're a kid growing up, minor leagues, whatever. So my first game is playing right field at Rogers Center. They we were out there playing catch, running sprints before the game, and they opened the dome. And so I'm like, this is fucked. And of course, first pitch of the game, Alfonso Soriano hits the highest fly ball that I ever caught in my career. First pitch in the big league.
But you caught it.
But I caught it, barely. And then my first at bat off Boomer, I hit a bullet down the third baseline, and Ron Coomer was playing third that day, and he picked it up, and I think he threw it between his legs to second for a double play. And I didn't really get doubled up much in my career, especially when I was younger, because I could move a little bit. And first at bat in the big leagues is like a piss missile double play. I'm still standing in the box. I'm like, fuck.
They're doing like Harlem Globetrotter shit.
Yeah,
on the ball between their legs.
exactly.
I'll never get a hit.
So I ended up getting a hit in the game. We won. I think I had 2 hits maybe. That was a long time ago. But that's really not the Boomer Wells story that I was mentioning. So a couple years later, I'm with the Dodgers, and I hit a homer off him. And after the game, he texts Jeff Weaver, who was a teammate with LA, and he said, what's up with that Werth kid? He's like, oh, dude, you love him. And so he comes over and he's like, all right, he's like, tells Weave, he's like, tell Werth to meet me at this address. And so Dream, he comes over and he's like, hey, Boomer wants you to meet him at this address. And I'm like, I'm a kid. I'm like, well, is this like a Hell's Angels
Yeah,
party?
you're gonna get killed.
Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, no, he's cool. So I go, I meet him, best time ever, just the coolest dude. He had, a couple friends there, and we just hung out and boozed it up one night in LA, and I was still a rookie at the time, so it was my first experience with David Wells, and I've been friends with him ever since, and saw him at American Century. I don't know if you saw the picture or whatever.
Yeah.
But, just the greatest guy. I mean, I've ran into him, and we've hung out 50 times probably. I go to his charity golf event. He's one of my better friends in baseball that I didn't actually play with.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he's the man.
That's a scary proposition to hit a home run off him and then have him be like, meet me here.
Yeah, well, I was like, what the fuck?
You're getting set up. It's like that scene in Goodfellas
I
where
was
you're getting made.
I was legit scared.
Yeah, I wonder how many other guys that he's given up the first hit to, and then he texts them afterwards. He's like, I have to be best friends with you.
Yeah.
He seems like a baseball historian, so I imagine it's probably a handful of guys.
Yes, yeah, I don't know. He's a cool ass dude though.
Yeah. So wait, I have a question about the catcher to outfield thing. You thought you were going to be a catcher your whole life. At what point were you like, this is probably not going to work out and I have to go play in the outfield? And how long did it take to actually learn outfield?
So AA was 01 with first year with the Blue Jays, and they started playing me at some different positions, DH, and we had Josh Phelps was there, Kevin Cash, Guillermo Quiroz. There was a backlog of catchers with the Blue Jays, and I had a big year in AA that year. It was my breakout minor league season, hit 20 homers, and the next year in spring training was been 02, and Dick Scott was the farm director, and he came in and wanted to have a conversation with me. He sits me down. He's like, how would you feel about moving to, and before he could even tell me where, I was like, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Like wherever you're talking about.
You were done catching.
I mean, I wasn't not a very good first baseman, but I would have done that all day long instead of catching.
But it feels
catching
like
fucking sucks.
Yeah, but the only thing with catching is it probably sucks beyond belief, but you don't, like, if you hit 20 home runs as a catcher, you're one of the best catchers. Whereas if you hit 20 home runs as an outfielder, it's like, he's okay.
So I'm 6'5". I actually
you caught.
Didn't even like catching. It's like you're always getting second guessed by the pitching coach, and if somebody hits a home run, it's your fault.
Yeah.
I don't know. The stand out in the outfield and picking daisies, that sort of thing is
pretty good.
More my style.
Yeah, save your knees.
Your knees.
That's probably as a
and your
person
back.
6'5", and your back. Trying to catch for that long.
I played with Matt Wieters in Washington. He was like 6'4", and I mean, dude, it was like he'd been catching for a long time, and you could tell, like, he couldn't run. His knees, his back, everything was slow, and I could run. So, by the time May came around, catching, you couldn't run. I caught over 100 games 4 years in a row in the minor leagues.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So growing up, you were a baseball family, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody in your family played professional baseball.
Correct.
Was there any option for you to not be a professional baseball player? Was it always like, Jayson, one day he will play in the big leagues?
Yeah, I mean, from the time I was like hitting T-ball or even before that. I did sign with the University of Georgia, and I was an all-state basketball player in the state of Illinois.
Oh, wow.
A hot take. If I went to Georgia, I was going to try and walk on and play hoops.
Wow.
I don't know if it would have worked, but I don't think I had much of a career path in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the classic debate. How many Major League Baseball players could play in the NBA? And how many NBA players could play Major League Baseball?
I think I could have maybe sat the bench if I really put a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been like a nobody.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a Nationals fan. Max, behind the glass, is a Phillies fan. We had this debate earlier. Do you consider yourself to be a National or a Philly?
Who am I talking to?
You're talking to me.
Well, I'm a Nat.
That's not for
You're
life.
also talking to me.
I'm a Philly.
Not for life. I got a question. Which team did you retire for?
Washington.
Yeah, Nat. Isn't that
Which team
interesting,
did you win a
Max?
World Series for?
Philly.
But it's interesting that he came back to
Which
Washington.
team paid you more?
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah. Which team did you change the culture at?
Washington.
Which team did you hit more your best season for?
The Phillies, and that team I was on in Philly. We took that. We were losing in 07. We ran down the Mets. 08, we ran down the Mets, won a World Series, and that changed Philadelphia at the time. So I mean, that run from Philly to Washington was pretty good for me. Even it being in the NL East. I mean, there is the whole deal. We're good now, but there was that 7 years of getting booed off the field every time I stepped on the field in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
There's no animosity anymore. So we're good.
Yeah, you're a champion.
Yeah, we won.
What was the was there any like chance you were going to stay in Philly when you, or is it that's offered me so much money I'm not?
Well, I wanted to stay in Philly. I mean, we had a great team. We were all about the same age. I mean, Chase and Phil and Jimmy and Shane and then they kind of Pat left, whatever. But I mean, we had an awesome team. Cole, I wanted to stay, but there was Ryan Howard. There just wasn't. The GM told me that this couldn't pay everybody.
Right.
So he offered me some bullshit hometown discount, even though I'm from Illinois, and it just it wasn't in the cards. I hired Scott Boras and pretty much made it known that I was going to hit the free agency market.
I think you should get credit for the World Series in DC too, because when you got to DC, we sucked. It was a bad ball club.
200 lost seasons.
Yeah, 200 lost seasons back to back, right?
Yeah.
And then Jayson Werth shows up. They kind of asked you to mentor Bryce Harper, which is kind of a weird thing to ask a grown man to do when they're paying another guy a lot of money. But what was that like when he was coming up and it was like, okay, Bryce is the future of the team. Jayson is the guy that's going to change the culture and move things around. But we need Jayson to make sure that our young guy doesn't screw up too bad.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at that. Bryce was an interesting kid. I mean, I love Bryce. We were talking about it earlier how hard it had to been to be Bryce Harper or like an Alex Rodriguez or somebody that had a lot of fame at a young age. And,
you're the chosen one before your brain is even like half developed,
and before you've even done anything in the sport or at the level. I mean, I think Bryce had a tough time in Washington. at times. At other times, he was great. He was MVP one year. We were good. We had good teams in Washington while I was there. But Bryce has moved on to Philly, which is kind of like, funny that happened with him. And now he's like the face of MLB, which was kind of what was, how it was supposed to go.
Yeah, it was destined for him.
And he's an awesome dude. He's a great dad, great teammate, husband. I mean, Bryce has turned into an unbelievable big leaguer. So I don't know if I help or hurt that cause along the way. We had some good times, we had some tough times, but it's all part of growing up in the big leagues. The veterans kind of have a hold of the team, and the young guys gotta fall in line. And Ryan Zimmerman was there, Ian Desmond. He had a lot of good guys. We had good teams in Washington. That was one thing that's cool about my career is I've always played on good teams.
Yeah. What about a moment you were a little later in your career, the famous Papelbon versus Bryce scuffle in the
DC
dugout.
Strangler came out.
Yeah. Were you where were you when that was going down, and what was the vibe like in the locker room after, and how does that get resolved?
Pap was just on a podcast talking about this. I don't know if
he talks a lot. Yeah.
He has a lot to say. Pap, I'll show you a video. He just sent me a video from one of the basketball games. It was interesting. Yeah. Pap's unbelievable. So I was at the other side of the dugout, and it had been building between the two of them. We weren't in the playoffs, so August is always the month of hate in the MLB. So no matter if your team's good or bad, everybody wants to fucking kill each other. And it's the month of hate. Just
from being around each other for so much?
And then either you fight and you suck, or you fight and you go on to win.
Yeah.
And it's coming. It's inevitable. August is everyone hates each other. It's hot. You're miserable. And this was September and we suck, so it was even worse. And I think Harp just didn't put in the effort that Pap was looking for that day. And he was in the dugout. I have to go back and look why he was even in the dugout in the bottom of the ninth. He either must have gave up a home run or came in a tie game or when we were down or whatever. Because usually if the closer's in the dugout in the bottom of the ninth, either
it's not a great
blew a save, which Pap didn't do that very often. And and then I think the key words in that exchange were either "Do you want to fucking go?" or "Let's fucking go." You kind of read Bryce's mouth, and you see the fucking head twitch from Pap. And it was it just happened so fast, and then I coined the phrase the DC Strangler shortly after that.
Yeah. So what happens in the locker room after something like that? Because I mean, shit happens, like you said, the month of hate.
Yeah.
It's 162 games. You guys are with each other all the time.
There's fights. I mean, people get upset. I mean, it happens all the time. You got 25 grown-ass men that are, work out every day. They play their balls off every day. I mean, there's fights. There's, people hate each other. There's shit that goes on behind the scenes that no one ever sees. That spilled over onto the cameras, which was a little tough. We had I guess, according to Pap's podcast he did the other day, he called the meeting, which I just walked in there after getting our ass kicked again, and next thing I know we have a meeting and they kind of talked about it, and that was that.
Yeah. When he talked about it, was he like, did you guys just see me kick Bryce's ass? Is that what the meeting was about?
No, I mean, he apologized, and I mean, he called the meeting, I guess, and he was just like, hey, I'm sorry, shouldn't have done this, blah blah blah.
Hey, the interesting part from a fan's perspective is because we always, fans sit there, and when we played the sport we're watching, it was when you were in Little League and you're all your friends and stuff. So you think in your head, you're like, oh, these guys must all be friends. But that's never how it works. How, in a clubhouse?
I mean, you are and you're not.
Yeah, but how many guys? Was there some guys in clubhouses? Not even naming names, but that you're they genuinely hate each other, but we can figure out a way to get along.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, everybody gets along. I mean, the Mets do things sometimes that I think would probably fall under that. But they're the fucking Mets, so that's just what happens. I don't get their franchise at all.
Yeah.
So. I played in the NL East for too long and played against them. But
what's so different about the Mets?
I don't know. They just suck.
But so it like in a day to day, how do you were you like considered a glue guy, or are you like I'm gonna mind my own business type of guy?
I mean, I would think you'd probably call me a glue guy.
Yeah. So was it you? Would you take responsibility of like, hey, look, I know this isn't going well right now. Like just vibes. I got to figure out a way to.
I think you just make it work. I played on mostly, championship teams that won the division almost every year, and you got to make it work. You fight, you get up, you hug it out, and you move on. I mean, the fight's not with each other; it's with the other team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You literally walk on the field. At least you used to. The game's changed a little bit, but you used to walk on the field every day, like with the mentality and the thought is, I might have to fight the whole other team.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So like that, and I know that my guys got my back. So that's kind of the mentality at the end of the day when the game starts. You're all in it together. You're all brothers. We're out there to fucking kill people. But
because I remember you had
that's the good teams.
Yeah, you had a quote about like the analytics in baseball and just how the people upstairs they read books and do math and bullshit like that was what you said.
Yeah,
and downplaying the
twirly birds.
Yeah, that's what you call them, twirly birds.
You might have called them super nerds at one point too.
Yeah, I fucked that up. They're twirly birds.
Yeah. But downplaying like the importance of chemistry, because I do think that gets lost, especially with how the media talks about it, how the analytics talk about it. It's like guys wanting to fight for each other. It doesn't show up on a stat in a box score, but it's really fucking important.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees have proved you can have all the best players, but if you don't have the chemistry, it doesn't matter. You gotta give me a group of guys that might not be the best players, but they get along and they're all moving in the right direction, and we'll go win.
Yeah,
because use more of the little things right. I would imagine if it's something that you actually care about, you care about the guy next to you. You make sure that you're backing him up on a throw to third base.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's the stuff off the field too. I think that and in the clubhouse and like how that all works. The 19 Nats were a perfect example of that. I mean, we had all those things all those years. We just couldn't get over the hump. We get to the playoffs, we lose in the first round. Like, what was it? In the 19 team, they were able to put it all together. They brought in Parra and my nemesis, Anibal Sanchez, and
he's your nemesis,
dude. Just look it up; it's bad.
Oh wait, no, tell me a story, because Anibal Sanchez is a personal hero of mine, just because I had him on my fantasy team the year that he threw a no-hitter. That's literally the whole story. That's my only thing.
That was my every game against him.
Yeah,
it's something like 3 for 35 with like 28 punch outs.
Wow. Damn. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Bad. And then I faced him when I was hot, when I was cold. I did hit a homer off him in Philly, but it hit the back of the fence, went in the flower bed. Barely counts.
Not even
right. Didn't feel good.
I remember we went into Detroit. I was with the Nats. I was hot. I was like player of the month. And I was going in there. I was like, I'm gonna get him. This is it, And it was like 2 punch outs and a broken bat back to the pitcher. And it was just like, and I got 3 hits the next day.
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
Didn't matter. Yeah.
How psycho is Max Scherzer as a teammate?
On the day he pitches, from 2:30 on, Max is great. He's one of my buddies. He'll love. It's like. What are you? You're a horse for one day, and you're a horse's ass for the next 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was Max. He's an idiot. But on the day he pitches, you want him with the ball. But at like 2:30 on, he puts the headphones on and starts listening to I don't know what he's listening to, but and the funny thing is he'll look over to his locker mate and be like, with the squirrely ass eyes, these guys, he's like, see you on the other side. And then he puts his fucking headphones on and he goes full psycho until he comes out of the game. It's awesome. You come in and you look at the lineup and you're like, you don't really, for the most part, you don't know who's pitching every day. Just you're going to play every day. Whoever pitches is inconsequential, but you walk in and you see Scherzer, pitching, and you're immediately like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be fired up for the game. So
yeah, ultimate competitor.
Up.
Ultimate.
I got to ask you about the maybe one of the best at bats in Major League Baseball history. It was the NLDS, right?
Yep.
And you had 13 pitches, and then you hit a dinger, walk it off, bottom of the 9th. When we're watching that at bat, at home, it's like every single pitch you get more and more nervous as a fan. When you're in the box going through that at bat, are you like, fuck, another foul ball, I hope I don't fuck this next one up? Do you get more nervous or do you get more locked in?
No, I only get nervous for horse racing. That at bat was cool. So that bullpen, that Cardinal bullpen that year was the hardest throwing bullpen of all time. And it wasn't even close. And that was like the new age bullpen. Now every bullpen's constructed like that. Everyone's got, everyone's throwing 100 out of the pen. Their bullpen was nasty. That Lance Lynn in there that was, he had like a 18-game winner. And I start off the inning, he paints 2 heaters down the way at 97. I'm down 0-2. I always had this thing, the personal thing of mine where if I got down 0-2, I'll be like, all right, let's get it to 3-2. If I get to 3-2, now I can win the at bat. So, and it's it never works out. I mean, sometimes it does, but that's the kind of the mentality. We're gonna fight. We're gonna battle and get to 3-2. We're gonna be tough out. And I just kept grinding. I kept grinding and fouling balls off. But as I kept fouling those balls off, I kept timing them up. And there was like a 2-2 pitch. I think he threw a hook. And, Yachty, probably the best catcher of all time, he went to frame it and just kind of hit off the bottom of his mitt, just didn't quite catch it. If he catches it, I'm done. So then I went to 3-2, and I was like, I fucking got him. And I fouled a ball off, and the next pitch I shot him, and it was like a pretty cool moment for DC and for me, obviously, signing that big deal and kind of sucking the first year, getting the organization turned around the right direction. And then I broke my wrist that year in 2012. I had all these wrist problems when I was younger. And so then I break my wrist, second year in Washington. It's just like, oh my God, things cannot go worse.
Right.
And then the team plays great. We're like best team in baseball. I come back off the DL and ended up in like 3-10 or 12 or something that year. And then got that hit. But the next day I lead off with a double, and we go up like 6-7 runs, and then we end up fucking losing that game. We were just so snake bit in the playoffs. We had that 18-inning game against the Giants that we couldn't win. Then it's just like, then we go to San Fran. Well, we needed to win a game, and all hell breaks loose. We got, it was weird. It was like we just weren't meant to win. Everything went against us. The series against the Cubs that year. Yeah, I mean, we had them beat. And we beat them up. When they went and played the Dodgers the next round, they had nothing. Yeah. Same thing the next year, the Dodgers, we had them beat. They had bring Clayton Kershaw off no day's rest out of the bullpen, and we had them beat, and they ended up beat us. And then they played the Cubs, and they had nothing left. Yeah. And we were set up. I felt like we were just hitting our stride. So it was like if we could ever gotten through the first round. I mean, I thought every time we were in the playoffs, we were gonna win it all. So yeah. And then, but we got our championship in 2019. I wasn't there, but I feel like you said, I had a lot to do with that team and those guys.
Well, it's a big change in terms of what the team was like before you got there to what the way that you left the team afterwards. And you were talking about like changing culture. Is there how much can one guy do as a baseball player to change a culture in the city?
I mean, I tried a lot. We had a lot. Zim was a big help. I mean, if I ever wanted to get anything done, I went to Ryan. The ownership and the GMs, they would listen to Ryan. I became white noise, I think, towards the end. Yeah. I was asking for so much. But, we changed the medical, we changed the food and the clubhouse, and did a lot of good stuff, and created just a really good environment for guys to go and win and be successful and be comfortable.
How important is the food?
I think it's everything. Would you stop at McDonald's and feed your racehorse on a Big Mac on the way to the track and expect him to win? Right. Or would you want to feed him the best food in the world and make sure he's has everything he needs, from a training, mind, body, spirit type of approach.
Yeah. I got a question about your time in Washington as well, and it doesn't totally apply, but it's more like where baseball's headed. So obviously it was very famous when Strasburg came up and he gets hurt, and then they put the limits on him. You see it now with young pitchers, like Paul Skeens had a no-hitter going through 7, and they took him out of the game. What do the rest of the guys in the clubhouse think when the management puts a limit on the pitchers, and that it's not the pitcher's fault, but you're like, come on, like this guy's a stud. Let's keep him out there.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because, I still want to work in baseball ongoing. So yeah. I can't bury my former employer on this one. Yeah. I will say that we had a conversation at the beginning of the year. Davey Johnson was the manager, and I said, why are we going to start Strauss opening day if we have this innings limits? Why wouldn't we start him in May so we can get him through October? Right. And I mean, we're coming off 200 loss seasons, a 500 season, and then that season, and he looked at me and says, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck. Yeah. All right. And that was about all I had to say about it. But I mean, I feel like looking back, I wish I would have said more. I don't think it would have mattered. They don't give a fuck what I say.
But are the guys in the clubhouse like, man, like, do they get frustrated? I mean, I'm sure Strauss was frustrated too.
I think we were all frustrated, especially since we lost. But I mean, Strauss was healthy. I don't know. Could he have pitched out of the pen? Could he came in and closed games? You know,
did he want to? Was he like, I want to be in there?
I don't know. I mean, he had being injured and not, getting to the point where you've made money is really tough in that game.
Right.
So you got to look out for yourself. Unfortunately, but at the same time, it's you got to be there for your guys. Strauss was young. The team was in its infancy. I mean, it turned out he got paid and they won a World Series. So I think it all worked out. Would I like to see him, continue to pitch or even start the season later?
Yeah.
So we would have had him, of course, but. I don't know. We still had a chance. We were up 6 runs. I mean, in that game 5, we should have closed that out. I mean, it's just another one of those weird things. When I was there, we just you felt snake bit, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does. That's a good point that you made, which is like if we have him on this innings limit or this pitches limit, whatever the case was, why don't we just start the clock later? And the fact that he's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's pretty much saying, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, just go out into right field.
Yeah,
hit third or second, wherever it was.
Yeah, it's the same amount of innings. It would make sense to just push it back a little bit. Switching over to the outfield, do you remember the first time that you lost a ball in the lights or just lost in the clouds? Because that feels like it must be the most helpless feeling.
It's the worst. Yeah, and I for whatever reason I wasn't good at it. Sunballs too. First one, I don't know. There's a good one at you could still find it. I think it was a twilight ball. So like for like 3 minutes every night, sometimes the sky goes purple, and if the ball goes up, you got no shot. And it was kind of later in my career, and we all talked about it. The worst is when you see an outfielder go back and he's throwing his hands up and like, I can't see it, I can't see it, and everyone's just running because they know he can't see it. So I'm like, why? Well, just act like you have it.
Yeah.
The center field. I don't see it. Like get over here. Help me.
Right.
So Andre Ether was hitting for the Dodgers, and my buddy Chase Utley was on second, and we were kind of like later in our career, and Andre either hits a ball up, and I go back and like camp underneath it, like I definitely got it, and I don't see it until I see it go over my head, but I was already at the spot, and then I like act like I catch it, and I look at Chase at second base, and he looks at me, he's like you can see him be like, what the fuck? And like, he's like laughing around third. I'm laughing. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I texted him after the game. I was like, I fucking got you. But that was, there's the GIF actually, you can see the ball goes right over my, and they did the thing where it was like the circle for like MLB The Show.
Yeah.
It's like, when your controller stops working.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was pretty funny, but it sucks. My buddy Sean Kelly, he tells everybody that I'm the worst outfielder of all time because there was 2 times in Milwaukee. Now Milwaukee has the weird glare sometime on day games, like that afternoon game. It gets kind of weird in the fall, and there was 2 balls that went out there I never saw. Like one almost hit me. I was trying to like just catch the sun, and it like went right here. I mean, you're fucked. It's not a good feeling. It's not where you want to be. But I just always felt like the guys that are running around acting like idiots and like they don't see the ball,
giving it away.
Yeah, I'm like, just stand there and act like you got it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Neither way works. But
I got a horse racing question for you. Who's your GOAT horse race? And this is a very important question because we have one as a podcast.
What do you mean?
Who's your GOAT?
Your GOAT horse, the best horse.
Oh, it's easy. Dornock.
Oh, okay. All right, you can name your
fair.
own. We think Secretariat was roided up, and Flightline is my personal GOAT.
So I was at that. So I just got into horse racing.
Yeah.
So I haven't really. I'm like, this is year 3 of horse racing for me. I was at that Flightline race, and at the time,
At the Breeders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too. Yeah.
I felt like I was watching Muhammad Ali in his prime.
Yeah.
It was. That was the coolest. I've seen some cool shit, and I put that up there. It's number 2 now after Dornock's winning the Belmont. That's like I put the World Series, the parade, and then the Belmont win as my top 3.
Yeah.
That's
That
gotta
was
be cool.
awesome.
Did you find that horse racing people have welcomed you with open arms, or is it like a club that you're trying to get into?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think winning the Belmont was kind of like my entry in.
Yeah. Can't say anything to you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know one thing. Saratoga, doing that at Saratoga was really cool.
Awesome.
And then so like the next day we went back on Sunday to like get some souvenirs and shit and just run by the track, say hi to a couple people, and I felt like the mayor of Saratoga or something.
Yeah, Saratoga. I've said it before.
People are so great.
For people who don't know, Saratoga and Keeneland are the Fenway and Wrigley of horse racing.
Correct. Yeah.
Like that, they are the special places when you walk in.
You
can
feel like
feel
you're
it.
back in time.
Right. Exactly. It's like very old timey, and it feels that way.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's crazy that you won the Belmont 3 years in.
My first colt I bought.
It's nuts. Like that doesn't happen in horse racing.
No, it doesn't happen. Period.
Yeah. Right. So are you all in? Are you like, this is because it's very cool if you have the money and you know you can get some success. It's got to be one of the coolest things to be able to buy horses and win big time races.
Yeah, it's addicting. But look, I tell people that running a Tuesday 16 claimer at Tampa Bay Downs is exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as exciting, but it's like winning a big game.
Yeah.
Winning the Belmont was like winning the World Series.
Yeah.
That's kind of the emotions that you feel. I think horse racing is cool for athletes in general, even regardless of what level you played, because if you own the horse, I think when you bet on the horse compared to when you own the horse are two different things.
Yeah.
You're like dealing with a family member that's playing. But I say that when they come out of the gate, I get the emotions of when I had when I was playing.
Yeah.
And you can't replicate those. You can't play, anything really, golf or whatever, pick up basketball, whatever it is. I mean, you can't do anything anymore after you're done playing a sport that gives you those emotions. And then all of a sudden I start getting into horse racing. I'm like, damn, like I'm back on the field.
Right.
Then you win. You're like, fuck yeah, woo. It's for, I think for athletes, it's an amazing sport.
How'd you get into it in the first place? Like, was there somebody that you had that was a friend that owned a horse and was like, hey, I think you'd enjoy this?
Yeah, I was playing golf with some guys. I just kind of started playing golf too. And
that's not fair that you're that good.
I played a lot as a kid. Sorry, I just started. I started again.
Wait, how good are you?
I mean, he was like +8 or +10 on what'd you shoot?
I got 10 points at American Century, but I played
pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm a 5.6 handicap.
Yeah.
Did you see what A-Rod shot?
He was awful.
Yeah.
I saw him on the range. I didn't need to see what he shot.
I think so. They cap your strokes per hole, right?
Yeah.
You can only get a double.
I think he maxed like every hole.
His first round he did.
His swing would lead you to believe that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's not fair.
For such a great athlete, he's such a bad golfer.
But it's so funny because when you see athletes, like professional athletes golfing, you're like, this is not fair. And then you remind yourself like, oh yeah, they just move different than everyone else. So of course they can be good at golf.
Yeah.
You guys just move differently.
I think there's exceptions, but yeah.
But I mean, it's for the most part, like you see them and you're like, yeah, of course they are.
And I can understand if Alex just started playing golf, because when I first started, again, I was really bad. Because the baseball swing and the golf swing are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Is there a sport that you really stink at?
Well, I don't really play many sports.
So the answer is you probably are awesome at all of them.
Every sport that you've played. All-state basketball.
Yeah.
Won the Belmont.
Yeah, so far so good.
MLB All-Star.
Seems like you're pretty damn good at all of them.
I wasn't really good at long distance running.
Yeah, that's not a sport.
Really suck. I really suck at long distance running.
That's a great thing to suck at.
I'm a sprinter.
That actually means that you're smart.
Yeah.
It means that your body knows to conserve
Why
energy.
would you do that anyways?
Yeah, it's a shitty sport.
Exactly. So the other thing is you're into is you're a farmer. And you farm regular crops, right? And also marijuana. Like how did you get into that?
We haven't actually started farming marijuana. We're in the process. We have we have a license too, and we're building the concept. But yeah, I got into ag kind of in 2009. It was more of a place just to get away from everybody after the season and do some deer hunting. And then it turned into this. It was about the same time I started kind of taking real good care of myself, like eating organically. Just doing everything I could to be the best athlete, and I didn't want them, spraying all that shit on my land, and because I wanted to eat process the deer that we killed, and I didn't, I just wanted to be eating good stuff too. So it turned into this organic farming project, which is cool. It turns out I like agriculture, and we applied for a craft grow marijuana license a few years back, and we got it. And we're kind of building that all out. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's really cool. Yeah. So do you actually get out in the fields and do you like get on the machinery
sometimes
and you get hands on with it?
Yeah, I'm more into like the planning side of it. I've got a farmer that actually farms, but I've done some harvesting and kind of get out there and move some big machinery around. I like I like driving stuff like that. So I've done it a little bit, but I mean I don't know. That's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
I've been saying for the last 4 years that weed has gotten too potent in America. It's gotten too strong, and we need to bring back like just good quality normal weed, regular weed,
mids,
like mids, weed that you
like
can
ditch weed.
No, not like bad, not like weed that'll give you a hangover. This is the battle that I fight against people sometimes. I'm like, let's just smoke normal weed, and they're like, wait, you want to smoke shake? No, I want to smoke something that I can enjoy and then go out and function and go about my day. But a lot of the weed nowadays, it's like you hit it, then at least for me, I have to just sit down on a couch and watch a show that I'm going to forget it.
You have a low tolerance.
I might have a low tolerance, but I think America needs to bring back mids.
Think about it.
I think just
making average
regular weed.
Just one strain of average weed.
It's an interesting concept. Our business plan is actually built on the opposite. We're going for the super high end,
super high
potency.
Yeah. You should just have one plant that's just just says normal pot.
Yeah, just put put one plant outside.
I think you could probably do this yourself.
I probably, now that you're talking about it, I probably could.
Yeah,
you can do it on your rooftop.
They allow you like 3 plants in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Do they really?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Fuck it. I'm gonna grow my own weed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sell it for, since it's only one plant, I can charge just an enormous rate for it.
That would be illegal.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm definitely not going to be doing that.
And we're gonna smoke it.
And we're gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
And have a hell of a time.
Try it. Let me know if it gets popularity. Maybe we'll change our business plan up.
Yeah. There you go. I'll sell you my seeds.
Yeah. Max, I'm sure you have a couple questions. Max is a diehard Phillies fan. Baseball player. I don't know if you saw some of his swings last night. He was the Matt Stairs of the CAA.
I was falling around last night. You guys are idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, you're way too old to be going out there trying to hit 700 home runs.
Well, Max is a little bit younger. I'm an idiot. When I looked at we're talking obviously about the Jerry After Dark. We did the Barry Bonds record. I looked at halfway through. I looked at the leaderboard, and it was the bottom 4 guys were all 37 plus, and I was like, this might be the moment that we got to just stop. But Max was a beast, and Max is still in his prime. So Max, baseball guy to baseball guy, you got questions about the Phils, the World Series champion Phils?
I have one question, and it's not about the World Series team. It's about the 07 team and the Mets collapse.
Let's talk about it.
What exactly was going on, like, in the clubhouse during September? Like, you guys were so far back, and the Mets had such a big lead, and like each day, like the Mets kept losing, the Phillies kept winning. Like, what was going on in the clubhouse?
Well,
did you actually think that like you had a shot to like catch them?
I think we thought that there was no way in hell we weren't catching them. Like the mentality of that team, and that's what set that run off, because we knew we were so far back. We were 7 down with 17 to play.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So we sweep the Mets. And I had a big game. I think that might have been 08. We did the same thing in 08. We were down 7. We were down 7 with 20 to play.
You can't even remember your favorite Mets collapse.
There are like 5
so
of them
many
that
of
come to
them.
mind.
They come together, but I stole second. We're tie game. I like walked off Billy Wagner, and then I stole second. We were down a run. I stole second and third, and then Taguchi. I played for the White Sox.
So Taguchi?
No, so it was on 08. This was 07 though.
Okay.
So this was 07. This was the one. So it's still second, third. He hits a double and ties the game, and Chase comes up and gets a base hit to win it, to walk him off on a 4-game series. And that was the moment where it was like, we can't be stopped. And we come down. So this is cool. The last day of the season, second to last day of the season. I guess it was the second day. God damn, they all run together now. We come out of the tunnel, walking down the tunnel to run your pregame sprints or whatever, and it's like, it's fucking loud out there. And by the time we got in the dugout, it's like, it like cranks it up, like, you know, it's like full throttle, and we look, and it's 7-0 Marlins against the Mets. And they like started at like 105. We're like the 135 game, so it was like 7-0 to start the game, and like we like that. The place Philly is so fucking cool in this regard. It was going ape shit. I mean, everyone was going nuts, and the game was we're still 20 minutes till the game.
Yeah.
And it was like, we ain't losing. And then, so we win that game. I think it ended like a kind of a crazy double play still, but that would have made us tied for the set. If we would have lost, we would have been tied going to the last game of the season, but then we were up. So, and then the next day, Charlie told me I wasn't playing, so I was like sitting in there. I had my shoes off, had my spikes off. And then Jimmy comes in and says, "Hey, you're up." It's in like the 9th inning or something like that. I'm like, I'm up. Like, all right. So I throw my shoes on. I got 19 stolen bases on the year and like 24 home runs. So I'm like, fuck, I got a chance to go 2020. And I get a base hit, or I walk, or somehow I ended up on first base, and I steal second base, dead cold. Like, probably could have like tore a hamstring or something, but I went 2020 that year, and like I wanted to rip the base out of the ground.
Hold it up for 2020.
I didn't because it was only 20 bases. But that was kind of the start of the Mets, kind of in my mind, being the Mets. And then, then we did it again the next year, and then won the World Series.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was 12 years old during the 2007 run. I think that was the first time like that we made the playoffs that I could really remember.
Sure.
And then that just set up the Phillies to be like such a good
if you remember,
franchise for a little while.
We were sell out every night.
Oh yeah,
it's like what it is now. It's like, you watch the Philly games now. Like, I mean, the place is going bananas. They're loving it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the hardest place to play? Is it in Philly?
For me, it was the old Marlins Stadium. It was anything in Miami was hard, I guess. I don't know. I didn't play very good down there.
The giant
that was
fish
Anibal
statue.
Sanchez.
Yeah, and what was the other? Volstad. He was there too. I wasn't very good off him either. He was like, I think he would pitch the next day after I was all fucked up, and then he would be like, he was like 6'10". I didn't get any hits off him either.
What's the hardest like visuals, whether it be batting or in the outfield in MLB?
So I'll tell you, the good ones are like the ones where they have the flat background that's like close to the fence, like Milwaukee, Arizona, Philly. Philly's really good. The tough ones are the ones like Boston, where it kind of goes back, or they put fans out there. The old Miami Stadium, where it would go back for like a long ways. I think that's why I didn't play good. I didn't see very good. But San Fran's kind of, batter's eye sits way far back.
Yeah.
LA's good place to hit.
Yeah, it's funny because you don't even think about it. Like, that matters a lot, I would assume.
Yeah, a lot. Being able to see is crucial.
Yeah.
Didn't they change that rule because of the Cubs not having fans that are just in center field?
Sometimes.
They used to wear like white shirts when the opposing team was up to bat, and then change into black shirts when the Cubs were up.
Brutal. Some guys it doesn't bother. It bothered me a lot.
Yeah. What about just velocity in general for pitchers? Because we're seeing, I think in the All-Star game, we had this one guy get in from the A's last night. He threw a bunch of pitches that were above like 102 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's
topped out at 103.6, I believe.
Definitely makes it harder.
We've seen a lot of like the velocity has been increasing a lot in the last couple of years. Did you notice in your time span when you started playing to the end that pitchers are getting faster?
Oh, big time. I mean, when I came up, guys were still throwing like 80, 89 sinker sliders. Like there was none of that left by the time I got out of there. Like my last year when I came off the DL, I like put one of those flaps on my helmet just as like a mockery to how hard everybody was throwing. But I made the joke the other day. It was like, I played in like the golden era of baseball. It's like when it was still pure and like, what it was for the last 100 years. And then, now it's like everyone's throwing 100 and wearing oven mitts. It's turned into this, totally different phenomenon of the sport. No one hits for average.
Yeah, you're either striking out or hitting a home run.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the game cycles through these things, and the game is still the game. I did a broadcast the other night for the Nats, and I still love the sport. I think it's great. It's just changed. The rules have changed.
Does it benefit guys? Like, I know Kyle Hendricks is on tail end of his career, but he was always a guy who was like, he wasn't throwing more than, 91, 92, and he was kind of
fell a lot harder though.
Yeah, like does it benefit guys like that who have something a little different than just throwing a 101 down the middle?
Yeah, I mean it can. I don't know. It's not, that's why you always kind of switch up your pitching rotation, so it's not the same guy every night.
Right.
But I don't know. Velocity was, especially these kids now though. They're used to it. That's like that's all they see.
Yeah.
We didn't ever see that, and then all of a sudden one guy come out of the pen throwing 100. You're like, oh shit, this guy's
Mm-hmm.
So it's just different. But it is weird that batting averages have plummeted.
Yeah, it's interesting
with the velocity.
It's like the thing that makes the game fun to watch is actually statistically not proven over the long run to make for the best batters. So like home runs and strikeouts, not that fun to watch. People getting on base, the excitement, the drama, that is fun to watch. But the nerds upstairs, they're like, well, if we model this out over the course of a full season, it's not always the best for us. So
yeah.
The twirly birds, right?
Birds.
Yeah.
So baseball's caught in this
Twirly
weird
birds.
place where it's like, do we want an entertaining product or do we want to win baseball games? We don't know if this actually proves out to win baseball games over the long run. So it's kind of frustrating as a fan, someone who used to watch a ton of baseball.
Right, I agree. I feel like we're losing fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked it up. You were actually worse against Chris Volstad.
I thought so.
Yeah, 3 for 33, and you were 6 for 33 against Anibal Sanchez.
Yeah, equally as awful.
Yeah, so and I'm looking at it right now. You were awesome against R.A. Dickey. You just could hit a knuckleball?
Yeah, I hit a homer off Wakefield in Boston, and I was with LA in 04 my rookie year.
Yeah.
And we played a lot of backyard knuckleball, wiffle ball when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I just equate it to kind of going back to that. But
So
I killed a R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, you hit 400 against him, so you just
And
could
like
you
how
could
many
see
home
it.
runs? There's like a.
You had 2 home runs against R.A. Dickey.
Oh, was that all? I thought there was more.
But still, I mean, you 406.
Yeah.
You
he
just
would throw
could
me.
see
He
it?
would throw me fastballs.
Really?
Yeah, he got tired of me hitting him.
How intimidating of a pitcher was Dan Herron? And he's a close friend of ours. So feel free to say how great he was.
Dan was nasty.
Yeah.
I played with Dan in Washington too, so I got to know him. He's like
the best guy.
He's like the driest, most sarcastic.
He's
Yeah.
the best.
Funniest dude.
Yeah.
He used to have diarrhea every day he'd pitch. He'd
Yeah.
chug Pepto-Bismol.
He said that
That's
he
his
would
morning
when he
routine,
was
yeah.
when his last year when he was with the Cubs, he was like, I contemplated retiring every time the wind was blowing
Yeah,
out.
he kind of that's the type of guy he was.
Yeah.
I remember facing him when he was in Arizona. And, he was just he looked like he was really mean, and like you were kind of like he's a bulldog out there, and his stuff was really nasty. But then I played with him and realized he's a really nice guy.
Nicest dude ever. Yeah.
Nicest dude. Yeah. Yeah. Who were you the best against? I'm looking it up right now. Do you know?
The best that was like good.
Yeah.
I had some good games against Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah. You also
I hit lefties great.
you tuned up Tim Hudson.
Yeah, to all the Braves guys.
Yeah.
D'Lo hit good off them. I played good against the Braves, and the Mets.
Yeah.
Played them a lot.
Yeah. You hit 386 against Tim Hudson with 4 home runs.
Yeah, I remember one time on the bus, Rick Ankiel was on my team, and he was like, "Hey, J-Dub, Tim Hudson just texted me, told me to tell you to fuck off."
There you go. It feels good going both ways.
Yeah.
Sanchez and then that. Yeah. How this is a dumb question. Just how sick is it to hit a home run?
Oh, it's sick. It's like, yeah, it's sick. So it's the best. I mean, you guys hit a ton of them last night, so
Yeah.
probably like you were so tired you probably hated it. But no, it's especially a big one with the on the road, in a big game when the place is packed, and then like you hit it and you can hear a fucking pin drop.
Oh,
behind you.
I'm sure when they do the slow clap, then you hit a home run. That's got to be the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, and just goes dead silent.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, "Fuck," and they're all leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
It also must rock to just know that you don't have to run the bases. Like you can just trot, take your time.
I like to run the bases, though.
You don't have to
I
sprint.
think that's part of the game that we're missing out on right now. No one knows how to run the bases.
Yeah.
This whole stolen base rules kind of, messing up the the numbers on the stolen bases, and then the guys are making a ton of outs on the bases.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like when I would coach my kid that summer, I was like, what, who's teaching you guys? What are you guys? I mean, it's like a lost art.
Yeah.
It really is.
I agree with that.
Do they have the giant sliding mitt?
Yeah, and they got all these skits. You know, you got kids, 12-year-old kids wearing the oven mitt. Like, why?
Yeah.
Just wear a bigger mitt. Get like 4 extra inches.
Yeah. Just flop it out there and be like, I stole.
Just touch second base.
I mean, I played a long time. I never had any problem sliding into bases with my hands.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a rivalry against a pitcher that? Did you ever charge the mound?
No, I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
Because I saw
1-on-6 with a guy behind you. It's not a really. I guess 1-on-5 with a guy behind you is not a great place to be.
Not good odds. Because I did see a video. I think it was you and Jose Fernandez where you stared him down. And
yeah, he would hit me a lot.
Yeah, you guys locked eyes and neither one of you would look away. But then by the time you got to third base, I think things were all good.
Well, he punched me out that game, and then he was like, he was running his mouth at me when I had my head down, and he punched me out, and he stared me down, and I didn't see it. So the next at bat, he hits me, and I'm like, what the fuck? You got something to say? Like, I was ready to fight then. But he was just a kid, you know? I was like 12 years older than him or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, what? Why? You know, I got to second base, and D. Gordon was at second base. I was like, what the fuck's what's his problem?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know him. Like, you know, and I knew D when he was a kid. I played with his dad, Flash, in Philly. And D's like, I don't know, man. What'd you do to him? I was like, I don't fucking do anything to him. And when I got to third, and he was like looking over me. He's all smiley, you know. And I'm like, what are you looking at me like that for? He's like, you were looking at me. I was like, whatever. So I don't know. That was didn't really have too many issues on the field. We got into a lot of fights in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
But nothing too bad in the big leagues. I was there for the Bryce Harper fight in San Fran when he throws his helmet sideways.
Yeah.
That's a funny one.
It was interesting because he threw his helmet. It was like 50 Cent's first pitch. That's how bad the helmet toss.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But then his flow was so good after he took his helmet off. I thought he just took his helmet off to show off his hair.
So you had Bryce throwing his helmet sideways with his hair. You had Samardzija and Mike Morse coming right in between the two of them, and they literally like made out.
Yeah.
Mikey never played again. Like, he had like concussion. Samardzija never played again.
Yeah.
Like, ended both of their careers.
Yeah.
And I was coming in there, and I had my hair. It was like the hair Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a good one. It didn't end up being too bad. We had a little mix up with the Pirates one time that got a little testy, but for the most part, you know, there's only been a few really bad fights.
Yeah.
Most of them are just
They just get everyone chest bumps.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you try. Yeah. You start with All right. So I have one last question. This has been awesome. We appreciate you coming on. It's a rollback question. RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Rollback.com, promo code TAKE. You did something that I wish more professional athletes did. It's the coolest thing you can do. I don't know why more guys don't do it. You retired, and then you played like rec league baseball.
One time.
And just fucking. But okay, so even that one time, the bomb you hit
Get away
was
from this thing.
so goddamn awesome.
All right.
What? First of all, how sick was that? Because like honestly, I don't know why. Like, if you are a professional athlete,
You can't win.
but especially like with the amount of shit talking that happens on social media these days, if I were a sick professional athlete, the minute I retired, I would go play intramurals and just kick the shit out of everyone and be like, "There's levels, bro."
All right. So full disclosure, a good buddy of mine became a good buddy of mine. Matt Micah was involved in the congressional baseball team shooting in D.C. When Steve Scalise got shot, he was there. He got shot twice. I went to go see him in the hospital after that whole thing, and that's where I met Matt. And like, you know, he was about dead when I met him, and I was like, "Hey man, take care of yourself." He played baseball in college. I was like, "We'll bring you out to brought him out to the Nats Park," and then the next year he took a little batting practice, but he got shot in like the hand, so it was weird. So. Years later, I'm playing with Seattle in the minor leagues my last year, pulled my hamstring, and I quit. I just like, that's it. I'm done. I retire. And I come home, and Matt calls me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm getting back on the field next week for the first time. Will you come play with me?" And I'm like, fuck all. I have to. So I'm like, sure. So I go, and it's just like, you know, it's probably the worst field that I've ever played on. It's just a wrecked field or whatever. I ground out. First of all, I'm tuned up for like 95 plus. I'm just retired.
Right.
These guys are throwing like 78.
Yeah.
So I like ground out the short. Bugs Bunny, like 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. You know, like swing 3 times at a ball, strike out my second about, and then these fucking guys are like mouthing me. You know, like, I don't even know who this guy is. You know, I'm in DC.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like talking shit, and the guy goes 3-0 on me, and then like the catcher's like whatever, and it was like one of those times where like the hair stands up on the back of your neck, and I got like fucking mad.
Yeah.
And then I hit the ball over the moon, and I came in, you know, and that was my last trip around the bases ever.
Really?
Ever. I'll never play that game.
That's awesome.
Ever again. And I came in and I said, that's it, boys. I'm going home. And I walked to my car with my full uni on, spikes on, got in and left.
So you proved your point, though. Like, that was a moment where everyone was like clowning you, and you're like, no, dude, you don't understand the difference between me and you.
Yeah. So that was... You know, and it goes around social media like quarterly, and people will send it to me like, "Are you playing rec league?"
Yeah,
it was like 2018, so it's been a while.
Why you wouldn't do it for softball?
I don't think.
Just fucking mash.
I would not play softball. Absolutely not. I was. If you would have called me and said, "Hey, we need you to come in and get us home last night,"
yeah.
I mean, I maybe would have slammed a 6-pack on the way over there, and and came in hot, but it would have to be for a good cause. I don't think I'd lace them up and go run around the outfield or do anything like that.
Yeah.
For a good cause could just be to feel good one day.
Yeah.
Just show up
to dominate someone.
I'm not there mentally right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
we might need you on a Barstool softball team. Because that's also my dream, is just doing a Barstool softball team and then just like 1 week just showing up with like 5 ex-MLB guys.
You ever see that episode of The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Homer at the bat?
Yeah.
They get the entire team of just MLB players.
yeah.
That's what we're going to do when we face off against like Bleacher Report.
We could just buy some horses too and go get fired up about it.
No, I want to see you hit teams.
You want to hit tanks?
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. All right, I'll consider it.
Do you have any more horses?
Yeah, I got a few.
Any good ones that are like
so I got
same level as Doorknob?
Yeah. So I own this horse named Drip, and Drip was supposed to be the favorite in the Tampa Bay Derby. Tampa Bay Derby is winning, you're in the Derby.
Yeah.
And he scratched that week, and but he ran the 5th fastest time of the year on his first race, and we think he's really talented. He's with Whit Beckman, the trainer, and his workmate was Honor Marie, and he was outworking Honor Marie by like a length every time. He was kicking his ass.
Wow.
And we joked that Drip made Honor Marie because Honor Marie got in ran the Derby, ran like 8th, and then ran 4th in the Belmont. Nice horse, but he's not real big, and Drip towers over it. Good, he's a good magic sire, same as Dornick, and I think he'll run. We're kind of pointing him to the big races next year. Like, I don't know, I've got this crazy dream. Maybe he runs in like the Dubai Cup or the Saudi Derby or something.
Or the breeders, yeah.
And then the breeders at the end of the year. So he would be the only other horse that I have that's really good.
Drip.
Nice Drip. It's a great good name.
Drip.
Do you have any input into the names of the horses?
I didn't on that one actually, but I do on some of them. Dornick is a cool story. I was actually in Scotland playing Royal Dornoch, the golf course with Utley, and I came home that next week. I called the trainer. I was like, "Hey, how's that horse doing?" And he's like, "Oh, really good." I was like, "Have you named him yet?" He's like, "Yeah, Larry named him Dornick or something." I'm like the fucking golf course?
That's nuts.
And he's like, "I think so." I was like, "When?" I was just there. He's like, "Yeah, last week." So literally, while I was playing Royal Dornoch with Chase, the guys named the horse Dornick, unbeknownst to me being there or anything like that.
Wow.
It was meant to be.
Meant to be. Then he runs 10th in the Derby and wins the Belmont.
That's incredible.
Crazy.
That's incredible. Well, Jayson, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It was great having you on.
Yeah, Nat for life.
I finally made it.
Yeah.
Finally made it.
Yeah.
Life complete.
You made it before after you hit that home run off that random dude in the instrument.
Did you pimp it? Did you pimp it? Did you stare him down?
Not really. My best pimp job ever was off Carlos Mormal at Nats Park when he was later in his year, because he would always pimp everybody when he was with the Cubs when he was really good. And I got him a 300 home run, pimped the fuck out. It was my favorite. It was my favorite pimp of my career. I didn't pimp much because that wasn't the thing back then.
Yeah. No, I mean the home run against Serge. I do watch it like once or twice a year just because it's so fucking awesome because you hit it so far, and it's
the rec league one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
All right, thanks so much, Jayson.
All right, guys.
Jayson Werth was brought to you by Chevy. As everyone knows, this is a Chevy truck podcast. The greatest trucks ever built and our good friends at Chevrolet are a big part of my take story. They have been for years. We drove across the country in a Chevy Silverado. We had 4 people in that truck, and it felt roomy. It felt comfortable. It was a great drive. No mechanical issues except for when Billy drove over a nail. I think he did that on purpose, but that's not Chevy's fault. The truck's awesome. We love Chevy. The Chevy Silverado has also sponsored the Lowman Trophy for the last, I believe, 4 or 5 years. They're a great partner. We award it every single college football season to the nation's top collegiate fullback, and Chevrolet and the Silverado have been a part of it all. So find out for yourself, like so many other AWLs. Go to Chevy.com and check out all the Chevy truck grit, and you can build your own Silverado. For do-it-yourself projects to road trips, off-road adventures to tailgates, whatever your thing is, it all starts with a Chevy truck. Xander was also brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. We all know there's no better game day food than Pardon My Cheesesteak, and we've been hard at work in the kitchen adding menu items throughout the summer to prepare for football season. We want to be ready for football season because that's cheesesteak season, baby. The latest launch that we have is a buffalo tender loaded fries. It's got classic chicken strips that are fried, chopped, and then tossed in buffalo sauce. Then they get tossed onto fries with cheese sauce, topped with ranch dressing and chopped pickles. They are elite. They are amazing. We also just rolled out the buffalo tender sub. It's already super, super popular. And the fan favorite is still the Big Cat Combo, where you get a cheesesteak, fries, and a drink. For dessert, try the new donut dippers. Delicious donut holes that are tossed in cinnamon sugar and served with a rich caramel sauce, and wash it all down with the Max Special 2 sodas. Find a Pardon My Cheesesteak near you, or order yours now at pardonmycheesesteak.com. Use code PMC20, get 20% off your order. And now, here's Xander Schauffele.
Okay, we now welcome on recurring guest, friend of the program, now 2-time major winner. It is the Open champion, Xander Schauffele. Xander, first of all, congrats. I mean, it's nuts that we're at 2 now, just like that. Got some questions about winning it, but I wanted to start real quick. We watched, obviously, the entire Open Championship. We're bad golfers. We're regular golf fans. Just how hard was that course, especially with the wind, like in regular golfer terms? Like how bad would we be on that course?
Really bad.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, because it seemed miserable at times.
Saturday was really bad. You know, with a little bit of wind and rain, it was it would have been a good day to watch golf on TV, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more fun, I would imagine, seeing it on TV than being even a spectator at that golf tournament, because you're dealing with the rain, the wind, the elements. The patrons of Royal Troon have a hard time, just like the golfers. Congratulations, like Big Cat said. Very happy for you. Got to know, your dad said he was going to drink wine out of the claret jug. Did you get to drink something out of the jug before he did? Or did he just take it from you? He's like, let's fill this up with a Malbec.
Red wine was the first thing poured into it. Yeah, and he immediately – I had to go do media after the ceremony on the green, and as soon as we got in the car, he basically took the trophy off me. And then they're like, you know, you should probably give it back to your kid, you know, for the rest of the media run.
Yeah. I mean, but it was his first major because he obviously wasn't there for when you won your first.
That's right.
So, what was it like having him there? First of all, when we saw him, you didn't do him justice. He is a hoss, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like an intimidating guy, had the hat on, was drinking out of a flask. But what was it like? Like, what was it like after the round, and just like getting to actually celebrate it with him for the first time?
It was awesome. You know, when I called him after Valhalla, how he looked on TV was exactly how he sounded on the phone after Valhalla. So if you want to just put those two together, he is an ugly crier, no doubt. And it was awesome though. You know, I had to have my whole family there. You know, my uncle's my age and my wife was there. Just the people that have been with me for such a long time. And you know, my dad is European, and he is an American citizen now, but you know, this is like the one he really wanted. And, you know, I'm not picky, but for me to deliver this one to him in person is probably the coolest thing. And I don't know if I can top that. You know, the gold medal was up there, but this is, you know, right there with it.
Yeah. I mean, it was an awesome Sunday to watch. You were so locked in. Did you at what hole? Maybe it was in the back nine, maybe it was in the front nine, but I feel like it was the back nine. But at what hole were you like, I'm here, I'm locked in, I'm winning this thing?
After I birdied 14, I was able to. There was a huge board on 15, and 15 is such a hard hole, but it was like crazy left to right, and I was like, I've hit that fairway every day, and I was like, you just got to hit this fairway one more time, kid. I was like, just hit the fairway, and you're gonna have like a wedge or 9-iron or 8-iron in, and after I hit that fairway, I was like a little fist pump inside because I was like, okay, we're dancing. Like this is my tournament to lose. Like only I can mess this one up. So a little bit of added pressure in that moment, but I felt like I really took control after I birdied 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the thought of like a Van de Velde even enter your mind at any point? Because I feel like if I was winning at the Open Championship, I wouldn't be able to stop myself from thinking about it. I'd just be like, keep your shoes on.
That's incredible. Luckily, there were no burns ripping through the rest of the property. So I took a really deep breath after I hit the 17th green. It's a very difficult hole. After I hit that green, I took a huge breath because I knew, I had at least a 2-shot lead. I was expecting guys to birdie 16 behind me, but I knew that I was in a really good spot. And 18 is iron. I hit 3-iron, 8-iron. So it wasn't. It's not to have a 2 or 3 shot lead going into 18 is a very nice thing to have because it is not the most intimidating tee shot with an iron.
Yeah,
somewhat idiot proof at that point. I feel like in the Open, the caddies do a lot of great work for the golfers, maybe more so than in some other tournaments, because you have to know as you're approaching each green, like you have to land some of your shots 10 yards, 15 yards short of the green. Are they giving you specific spots? And like, how much time did your caddy spend studying all the hills and all the slopes that are right at the front of that green?
Yeah. So, Austin's my boy. He's been caddying for me since, my dad caddied for me for a few events and he got canned. But Kai's has been with me for ever since I've been playing, and Korn Ferry up through the tour. And he's incredible. He does a really good job. And I definitely feel like he gives me that sort of edge or advantage that you were talking about on properties that, aren't super known on tour. Whenever we play U.S. Opens or PGAs, there's these big championship-style golf courses where more information, the better, especially if you haven't played it much. And, Kai's he's good for walking, he has that little Apple Watch or whatever. And, I think last year at the Open, he logged like 30,000 steps one day. So the dude is just out there walking, trying to, like you said, figure out every little mogul, every little bounce, where it can go, can't go, all those types of things. And he's funny. On 14, it was a really big moment because I was kind of like, I might hit 5-iron. And he was like, it's a 6-iron. And I was like, okay, it's a 6-iron. I was like, this is aggressive. He's like, just hit it between the bunkers. I don't know if you guys remember that par 3.
Yeah.
2 coffins, like the flagstick, and then 2 coffins in the green. And he's like, just hit it between the bunkers. And of course, I was so locked in. I hit it in between the bunkers, like a really good iron shot in there to like whatever 12 feet. And I remember after I hit the shot, I looked at him and I was like, just hit it in between the bunkers. Like, is that
yeah,
advice?
Yeah,
yeah. Advice. Just hit it just hole out. Just hit it at the flagstick.
Yeah, just hit a good shot. That's all you got to do. All right, so I'm fascinated. Obviously, golf is so much mental, and this year has been incredible for you with 2 majors. And you were going into this year one of the guys that was like, hey, can he win the big one? Because he's been so good, but he hasn't won a major. So after you win the first one, you're winning the second one. Was it easier mentally? Did you feel like, hey, I've been here, I know it, the pressure isn't the same as it was during the first one? And does it feel kind of like the top is off now? Like the sky's the limit?
Yeah, I mean, the expectations are gonna have to get reeled in here. I don't think I would have won this one if if my head was, through the roof for too long. But that's gonna be something I need to work on, just to, set the bar right and then keep moving along like we've always been moving along. But yeah, I mean, totally different feelings for both. I was significantly more nervous at the PGA, just the back and forth, holes playing a little bit easier. The style of golf was so different. And then, everyone was so bunched up. Not that people weren't bunched up at this one, but the back nine at this Troon golf course is so freaking hard. And if you hit good shots and you make birdies on these holes where no one else is making birdies, you will gain an advantage. And So to me, you know, I wouldn't have been as calm at Troon if it wasn't for Valhalla, but I was way more nervous at Valhalla than I was at Troon. So it's kind of funny how the two kind of paired up and how different they were.
Yeah. All right. So I got a tip for you, because if we're trying to stay humble, not go through the roof. Have you thought about maybe changing the golf shoes? No offense to your golf shoes, but the all black shoes are tough because you kind of look like a server. Like you look like you're going to pass me some like bacon wrapped scallops. So maybe we got to work on that part of our game. That's the next step.
That's humbling.
Yeah.
You know, when
they look like shit, dude. They look like shit. Come on, let's get better shoes.
I got nothing for you. You know, Adidas is my shoe sponsor, and they wanted me to wear contrasting, you know,
colors.
Like,
go white and then black stripes. That's easy.
You know, okay. You know, I can do that for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I figured, you know, I was sitting there and, you know, I was spending such a long time getting ready before I went to the course.
Yeah.
Of course I wasn't.
You look slow.
Yeah, right. You look slow.
I want my golfers to look like athletes.
Adidas makes great shoes.
Dude, I don't give a shit what I look like. To be completely honest.
Well, all right. See, that's a problem. You're through the roof. We got to humble you.
I don't have to look at me when I'm playing.
Okay, well,
I'm very true.
I'm telling you,
I do have to look at my shoes.
Yes, but if you,
I do feel good. So as long as I feel good, and then you know the shoes are the shoes. I wore those black shoes at the freaking PGA and won with them. So.
Yeah, had the same complaint. I'm just saying, if we're trying to work on our game, if we're trying to find different ways to get better, PFT said it like what white shoes look faster. I think maybe go, you know, white with maybe blue stripes, because Adidas makes great shoes, great sponsor, but we're just trying to get you better.
You know what?
Let me show you something.
Better and faster are two things I'll definitely take. So maybe
let me show you something. See these? These are black Adidas shoes. I like them.
I can't see them.
I don't. Hang on.
Hold on. He's gonna get him. He's flexible. Right. Wait. Yep. Okay.
I am not an athlete. I look slow as fuck.
And short. They make you look shorter.
They make you look short. I'm actually 6 feet tall, but when I wear these, everyone's like, "Oh, PFT's 5'8".
Yeah. Don't be afraid to, you know, let your body hit the sun every once in a while either. You know.
Okay. Yeah. I'll check that out.
That's good.
Listen, I'm not.
That's good. See, we can take it back. You know, better podcasting. I'm really tan, and I've been podcasting my balls off.
There you go. So, who is the fastest golfer on tour? You guys ever race?
Not me. The fastest would probably be, oh gosh, who hits really fast? There's a few guys. I mean, I can't think of anyone right now, to be honest, but there's a few guys who just, I mean, Dustin he would hit so fast. Matt Jones, so both two guys I went to live are like the fastest guys I've ever played with. There's a few, I'm trying to think of the guys that are unbelievably fast on our tour now.
I'm not talking about club head speed or ball speed. I mean like fast, like because you look slow. Who's the fastest runner?
We play golf for a living, dude. We're like camels. We're just supposed to just flop around until we get to the finish line.
Yeah.
We're not running out there.
I bet Ricky's fast. He looks like his legs can move pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. My caddy is a little top heavy, but he's pretty quick. He's got some quick legs.
That's a good way to say it, top heavy.
Top heavy.
Start calling myself top heavy.
Nice.
Hey, did you have a talk with Scotty after? I know you're friends with him, being like, because listen, we didn't put an asterisk on your PGA championship, but some people did because Scotty got arrested. So were you like, hey, asterisk off, I did it, and you didn't even get arrested this time?
Yeah, actually, thanks for reminding me. I was meant to send a bottle of wine to that police officer about how.
I feel good. It now the asterisk is off of PGA Championship, because if you had only won that one, we would have been like,
Despite my slowness.
Yes.
Yep.
And bad style.
Lack of speed. Yeah.
Yep.
Lack of speed. I'm legit now.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. You got the stamp of approval. You actually can golf. You're a good golfer.
God, I feel good. Yeah, this has been really helpful for me, guys. Thank you.
One can be a fluke. Anyone can win a major. I could win a major if I just played the best golf of my life.
Yeah, especially when Scotty gets arrested. I could have won that.
This was actually harder for you to beat Scotty because he was naturally driving on the wrong side of the road over there. So he probably felt very comfortable in Scotland.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about your good friend Patrick Cantlay. Do you guys just know going into every tournament at some point you'll be right next to each other on the leaderboard? It's always going to say at some point, Schauffele, Cantlay, and then everyone's going to be like, okay, I used to think you were the same guy.
Well, he's white. I'm tan. I mean, he could be whiter than you, to be honest. There's a chance.
Yeah, unlikely. But yeah, you guys just always kind of find your way together.
Yeah, well, this is actually the first time we were paired together with Tiger Thursday, Friday in quite some time. And then we were paired together Saturday. and like 2 or 3 days in a row we wore matching sweaters, which was not intentional. we got to the practice green. And we're like, God damn! I was like, God damn it! I mean, why not? We'll just shine together.
Yeah. I mean, we'll work on the fashion part. All right. So, I had one.
I'll text you guys next time I'm going out to make sure I'm dialed.
Yeah, we'll get you right. I had one last question, rowback question. RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Great polos for the golf. So you're now about to play in the Olympics, right?
Yep.
So what is Olympic golf compared to like playing in the majors? Like what's the pressure like? Is it wildly different? Like how do you approach Olympic golf?
It's pretty different. I mean, you're essentially on a team kind of, but it's the same. I mean, I approach it the same way, to be honest. It's a 72-hole stroke play.
Yeah.
And there's 60 guys, and everyone's, playing under the country, and everyone wants to win. And only, I think the emphasis on second and third is a lot more than a normal tournament. You podium versus if you, don't do well and you come in second or third, or if you're doing well and then you fail at the end, you feel like one of those. And I think, in the Olympics, everyone's fighting to finish in the top 3 more so than any tournament, I'd say.
Yeah. Have you thought about getting the Olympic rings tattooed on you? That's what all Olympians do.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do them in all black.
Just look extra slow. Listen, I feel like you might not like that we came at your shoes, but again, I think that you're going to have a lot of people walking around being like, Xander, you're the best. Xander, oh my God, two majors, golfer of the year. Just remember, whenever you want to get humbled, you come back here and we'll find something to nitpick you.
You guys, I don't think you guys have ever had a conversation with my dad,
yeah.
So he can humble you pretty quickly.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a humble off.
It's important.
I'd love to have him on.
It's really important to have haters.
Would he try?
Well, I'm gonna think now that you guys are. I'm gonna draw you two up as haters right now.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hating on me.
Bulletin board.
We like you so much that I'll gladly have you hate us.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see you succeed.
I don't really hate anyone, to be honest. I'm not really. I'm from San Diego. We're all just go with the chill vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black or white or whatever color shoe you want to wear. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. All right, we got to get you to hate us. We got to just bulletin board.
I can do it. I'm very confident in my abilities to piss you off.
Shoot from the hit.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I start hating you guys or not.
I had one last question for you. What is the Schauffele way?
Is that something my dad said?
It probably is. It's your training, especially your Olympic training.
What did he say? I don't even know.
So I've got a note here. I'll read you what the note says, because this is what the tour is sending out about you. It says that you have learned discipline from your father and his Olympic training. They call it the Schauffele way.
That's what he calls it. It's probably it's kind of got like some kind of weird ring to it, I guess. Or maybe the tour coined it that. I'm not really sure. But the Schauffele way is just, my dad's half French, half German, so. Growing up, it was, my mom is Taiwanese, grew up in Japan. So, we have the Axis, you know what I mean? I'm the Allies. My parents are the Axis, being, rolling that side of the world. And discipline is something that I grew up with. So hard work and, I always watch my parents. They're super disciplined. They're super hardworking. And maybe that's the Schauffele way. I'm not really sure, but it has to be something along those lines of, how they were sort of raised and their, countries.
Yeah.
Ethics. Yes, it's like it's all tattooed in there.
I like the Schauffele way.
Schauffele way.
I feel like your dad's sitting there watching you win majors, and he's like, "That's the Schauffele way," and in your head, you're like, "I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about."
This is the Schauffele way.
I love that. Yeah, look slower than you are. That way, you'll surprise people.
Yeah,
Schauffele way.
Schauffele way.
Yeah, sneaky fast.
Yeah, deceptively quick.
Yeah, you are deceptively quick. You are slower than people think.
I like that. I am, to be fair, though, maybe I'll just keep wearing the black and white shoes because I am a slow learner.
Yeah.
It took me how long to win 2 majors? You know what I'm saying? So,
but the lid's off now. Now they're off. Actually, I did have one last thing. So when you win, this time it's a little bit different because you had to wait. It wasn't like you make your putt, tournament over, you're a major champion. Did you feel like you had to kind of tamper down your celebration because you had to wait for other people behind you to finish?
Yeah, I mean, you just never know when it's over. And, the last board I saw was on 15. So, but the way everyone was kind of behaving, and I was like, when I got up, I saw that I had a 3-shot lead when I was on the last hole, and it was like, it was weird. I was walking with Austin. I was trying to take it all in, because that walk up 18 with the yellow leaderboards, that is like, if you're a golfer, that's the sickest thing ever. I got chills when I was walking up to the green, because I was like, the standing, everyone stands up, and you take your hat off, you wait, you're appreciative of everything. And I'm sitting there walking with one of my best buds, and it was like, this is pretty freaking cool. Like, this is sick. And then I was like, oh shit, I still have to putt. Like, I can't yam this 18-footer, 4 feet by and then mess this up. So I quickly kind of locked back in. And like you said, I didn't want to let my mind wander too much. I was just, it's done when it's done. And, I'm a big believer in that. So yeah, maybe I didn't really feel the need to celebrate or anything, because I wasn't sure if I was going to win. Someone could make a hole-in-one on 17 and hole out on 18 or something like that. So how much of an ass would I look like if I was sitting there just like, over the top celebrating and then just get absolutely shafted in the end. But
yeah.
It is what it is.
So the big moment of celebration comes when they take that last stroke, where it's like, okay, they mathematically can't win now. And then
exactly.
And then you let yourself go.
Yeah. Once, I think they had a hole out from the fairway on 18. And, after they didn't hole out, it's statistically or mathematically impossible to tie. And then it was over. Deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, Xander, thank you so much. Have you thought maybe you're just never going to lose a major again?
What happened to this whole humble thing that we're talking about?
I'm just saying, I just started thinking, like, because that's how I think about everything. Like, whenever I play anything, I'm like, what if I just, like, if I'm playing beer pong, I'm like, what if I just never miss? Like, have you thought about that? Maybe you just will never lose it. You've already lost your last major. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. U.S. Open was the last major you'll ever lose. Whoa.
What if you just retired right now?
Yeah,
like John Elway.
That would be the hottest take on PMT ever there.
Yeah. Xander Schauffele has lost his last major ever.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Not my words here.
And we're going to bet you accordingly.
Yeah.
So we will let you know if you do not live up to expectations.
I'm going to see if I can parlay all four.
This is what's great about the media. It's like we spend years saying, like, I don't know if Xander's ever going to win a big one. Then you win two.
Who's your guy now? We talked about this last time. So
we don't need to find that.
We don't have to talk about our guy or who might be our guy, Max.
But after
he's a good friend.
After we spend all these years saying, like, you can't win a big one, now every time you don't win a major, we're going to be like, what a disappointment from this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
he's off.
He's overrated.
Yeah.
You swing to overrated so quickly these days.
Absolutely disgusting. He needs to change his shoes. My God.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like we did a good job. We broke you down. We built you back up the Schauffele way.
That's good. All in 20 minutes. I feel refreshed. I'm ready to go.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much, Xander. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you after you win the Masters.
Oh, and the gold medal.
And the gold medal, yeah.
Okay. Got it. Everything.
Okay.
All right. See you, man. Congrats.
Man.
Welcome back to another Fyre Fest of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. You know what really sucks? Not being around for Fyre Fest of the Week. Maybe our favorite segment of the week.
Yep.
And not being here is a real bummer for everybody involved. But you know what doesn't suck? Calling Morgan & Morgan. They can help you get what you deserve. Well, they can't help your presence at work, your attitude at work, your haircut. What they can do is they can fight to get you full and fair compensation when you get injured. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone.
Okay, Fyre Fest of the Week. Hank is not here. That's my Fyre Fest. No, I have a real Fyre Fest, but I miss Hank.
I kind of miss Hank.
Yeah. Just whatever his face would be right now.
I miss the idea of Hank.
Yeah.
I miss just having somebody I can get angry at.
Huey, you want to start? Because
Sure.
Hank's not here?
Yeah.
All right, give us your Fyre Fest.
So my Fyre Fest is coaching softball, particularly me.
Yeah, I heard you were a really bad coach.
Yeah. No, this was I was a bad coach.
The report
I was very bad.
the report I got was you guys they asked Huey to coach because Pug's off the team.
Yeah, he needed some time off
Because
he resigned.
You guys,
he might be back
you guys
in a remote role.
You signed up for softball on nights that we were like you have to work.
I know. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what I heard, and I would like to hear Huey's side, was Huey was made the coach, and all he did was chirp and like be an asshole to his own team.
Okay.
Hand up. That was wrong. Wrong of me. Wrong of me to do everything I've done. I can make excuses, but none of them would surmount to anything excusable. But here I go. I wasn't aware of what they were expecting of me. I didn't know. I had to keep track of the outs, and the score.
Yeah,
those are two big ones that I was not aware of. I probably should have asked more questions before I accepted the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair to say. And I just, we went off against another team. They had uniforms and they had drills in between each inning. And
wait,
they had pregame drills. They had at least had pregame drills. And
are you're not a baseball guy? Like throwing it around the diamond is
4
not
months.
a drill. Like, was the first baseman throwing grounders to the shortstop and third base, and then they were throwing it back to him?
Yeah, that sounds like it was.
Yeah, it's not really a drill.
Max, what was
Just
Pug
warming up in between innings.
What did Pug do when he was the coach? Did he have you guys doing drills?
No, Pug didn't have us doing drills. He made the lineup every day with a nice little graphic. He would do a little pregame speech. He would keep track of the stats, and then he would do a post-game speech after the game.
Mm-hmm.
That was basically all he did. He was a great vibes guy. Everyone turned to Pug when we needed something.
And then, to Hull's credit, Huey, sorry, 3 hours before the game, somebody sent a text being like, Pug, send the lineup. And then I texted knowing Pug wasn't going and said the Pugs may be dead. And then Huey got elevated to manager 3 hours before the game.
Sounds like interim manager, maybe.
Yeah.
So, and he was a dick.
Big dick.
Slight dick.
Slight dick.
Huey, I'm going to take your side a little bit because it seems like this might be a millennials problem and a Gen Z problem that they can't take hard coaching.
I wasn't told everything. If I knew how to keep track of stuff, I would have been on my game more. I also had 3 beers, the perfect amount, but not for me.
Yeah.
And it was the night that the episode dropped, the first episode. I was a little anxious,
That's fair.
And I was like, all right, and then going to have some fun with the boys, and all of a sudden we're playing a team that had matching uniforms and drills, and it was alarming. And I got caught off guard, and I didn't keep track of what I should have been keeping track of, and then I got frustrated and I let it out on everyone. It's not fair to them.
If you drink 3 beers, don't keep track of anything during the game, and then just yell at your teammates. I mean, Tony La Russa has made a great career out of that.
But did you notice what he said there when he said 3 beers? He said 3 beers, perfect amount, not for me.
Yeah. So you overdid it.
I should have known my own limits.
Were you overserved by yourself?
It's the perfect amount for someone else, but not for the person actually drinking them.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, live and learn, and I'll learn from that.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever have a coaching opportunity again in my
You're
life.
not manager tonight?
No. They shouldn't let me even allowed it near the stadium.
Okay, so yeah, they do play in a stadium. What? He's not coaching tonight, Max?
I don't make those decisions. That's Pug.
Okay.
Pug has been reinstated as remote coach.
Oh, okay. So that's how bad he was. You'd rather have a coach who doesn't show up than Huey.
We're also our team name is the Pugs. Like we need.
I think that's more the case. Is like you can't fill Pug's shoes. When you have a dog and your dog passes away, you don't get another dog immediately and then expect it to be just like the other dog. You got to wait a little bit of time.
I was a shelter dog.
Yeah.
My last owner beat me.
Yeah. Who?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I was like, let's go to the analogy. All right. Well, you'll get better. Maybe you'll get another shot.
Yeah, there's a Friday basketball game. Maybe I get a coaching job there.
There's no coaching in that.
Okay. Well,
you'll play in it.
Yeah. So maybe it'll help the camaraderie. Somebody might let me.
We could use a coach.
Yeah, I guess we could. I just heard from Hank that he was like, yeah, Huey showed up to the game. We made him coach, and he just talked shit the entire time.
Nobody knew who he was in there. Everyone was like, who is this kid? Who is this?
It was his first day on the job.
Who's just talking shit when I pop up right now.
You should have gotten kicked out. You should have just gave the umpire a piece of your mind.
He was much bigger than me, and there was no way in hell I was gonna challenge that man to anything.
Hug energy.
All right, PFT, your Fyre Fest.
My Fyre Fest of the week is that I'm going on the road for a little bit, so we are going to Grit Week starting not next week but the week after. And,
10 days.
So 10 days, but I'm doing I think I'm doing 7 cities in 14 days.
Holy shit.
Because I got a wedding, then I'm going to Austin for a little bit, then I'm going to Columbus for Pup Punk, then I'm going to Nashville for Pup Punk, then I'm going straight from Nashville to Grit Week and our cities that we're going to be going to Grit Week. So the challenge I've put myself in is I delayed packing, and I'm leaving tomorrow, and I've got about a 2-week-long trip that I have yet to pack for, and I've only got my tiny little red suitcase.
You do laundry.
I can do laundry on the road, but it's also in like 7 different cities.
Yeah.
Packing for all that and a concert that I have to bring my guitar with me for.
You're going to lose at least 3 things.
I know myself, and there will be one item I will just completely forget to pack entirely, meaning like I might not pack socks.
Yeah.
I might forget entirely to pack underwear.
Yeah.
I might not pack shirts. I've gone on a trip recently where I just didn't pack any shirts.
Maybe you should just not pack.
And just buy stuff in every city?
Yeah, live off the land.
Live off the land? I could do that. What would I get?
We've done it for Grit Week.
I might do that for Grit Week this year.
Yeah.
All new fits?
Yeah.
That actually would be fire.
Yeah, I'll do it with you.
We land at Grit Week and we go.
We've done it before. We
Yeah.
did Goodwill.
I kind of like this.
I do all new fits.
Exact. You and I have the exact same Fyre Fest, even though I don't have a Fyre Fest today. I haven't packed a single thing, and I'm going.
You're going to Europe.
I'm going to Europe tomorrow, and I'm going straight from Europe to Grit Week. I'm not.
Yeah.
All right,
stopping
all
at
new
home
fits.
once.
So
all new
let's
fits.
get new fits the second we arrive.
Because I'll get there. I'll get your first fit. So when you show up, like I'll go to like a PacSun or something.
Yeah.
And we'll get us fits.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. Actually, we'll switch off days. I'll
Okay.
go day 1, you go day 2.
I like
go back
that.
and forth.
Makeover.
Maybe. Actually, yeah. Everyone gets a day.
Okay.
So I'll start on the Sunday. I'll get the whole boys a fit, and then we'll go. Yeah, we'll just do fits every single day.
I like that. Part of my makeover.
Yeah. So
Sounds like a video.
PFT, you can do Monday, and then Max can be up, Hank can be up, Huey maybe we'll do.
I'm so.
I don't know if that was.
I'm so glad that Huey's around because there's probably only one guy in this room that has a worse sense of style than I do.
Yeah.
Although the coat was great.
The coat was great.
That was all my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's great. We'll do
Okay, so
fits.
that's
We'll
how
do
you turn a
fits.
Fyre Fest into a Fyre FIR
Yeah,
Fest.
I love that.
Now I'm excited about this.
I love that. All right, my Fyre Fest. It's a simple one. I gotta pull up the text. My wife texted me, she was like, our daughter said, poo is a bad word. And I was like, and my wife said back to her, like, it's not a bad word, it's a potty word.
Yeah.
And she told me that, like, she had said that, and I was like, oh, that's probably because I do swear around the kids. Like, I'm bad with that. I talk how I talk. And I was like, she probably just thinks it's a bad word. She's not actually talking about actual, like, poop.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my wife tried to correct her, my daughter said, no, I'm talking about poops, the things daddy does for a really long time.
That's good.
So she was definitely talking about poops, and it's just like, yeah, she's like the thing daddy goes and does for a really long time.
I've wondered that about people that have like 3 kids. How do you shit?
I don't.
Because when you go shit, then there's only one parent, and then there's 3 kids.
Yeah, and they don't respect any type of, like, I'll do the shower, I'll turn on the shower and hope that, like, they know shower's on, they'll still walk in. Yeah.
Parents just don't have time to shit.
No, it's bad. But she's just, I actually kind of feel like this is like my first, like, feel like a masculine dad, because I feel like that's a very big dad move for all the kids in the house to be like, yeah, dad goes and takes long shits.
Yeah, you should do that in front of your son, so then your son's like, my dad has bigger poops than your dad.
Yeah.
And you can get one up on that guy.
Yeah. Oh,
your rival.
Big. That would be, but that is like a real sense of like being a man.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm going to the shitter, I'll be back in 3 hours.
I mean, taking a shit is one of life's little pleasures where you get some time to think, scroll whatever website you're scrolling, maybe play a game while you're on there.
Hang out.
It's like that's what guys do for meditation.
Yeah.
We just go take a shit.
Yeah. I actually kind of want to put a couch in my bathroom.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Just to lay down for a little bit.
TV.
Appreciate.
A bed.
It wouldn't be bad.
You get a bed in there. A kitchen.
A kitchen would be nice.
An air fryer in the bathroom. Yeah.
Have it all there in the bathroom. That would be nice.
Yeah.
My bathroom's a mess too. It's just like, I don't know how do you guys have there's like splotches on the mirror all the time. I think it's just because I wash my face.
When you wipe it off. Yeah. When you wipe the mirror off.
Yeah. It's a problem.
Yeah. And mirrors never get clean.
No. It's a big time problem. Okay. let's finish off the show. Numbers 20.
8.
56.
Oh, Max and I are dancing.
Yeah, one time it's gonna happen.
3.
77.
Shane's in here. Shane, we talked about Jim Harbaugh's. Here, put on the headphones to Shane. Give the headphones to Shane. Shane, we talked about Jim Harbaugh's quote.
Yep.
And I saw the new facility. It looks awesome. The Bolt. Yeah, it looks
awesome.
incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, your number?
21.
Pug.
99 Pug.
What were your numbers, Huey and PFT?
8.
77.
I know your number memes. You've never gotten it. 90.
Shit sucks.
Love you guys.